All right, guys. The Bone Crusher is in the house. Are y'all ready? It is Saturday Night Football up in here. Okay. Welcome aboard. We are joining this game in progress. Let me just set it up for you. It is first quarter. Score is 0-0. 10-18 left in the first quarter, and Kentucky has the ball, and they just got flagged for a false start. So welcome aboard. I'm the Bone Crusher. I see our moderator A-Bomb is already in the studio, so let's start off with an audio visual check with A-Bomb. Ethan is in the house. Welcome aboard, moderator Ethan. No, Georgia will not lose again, moderator Ethan. Thanks for asking. It is 2nd and 15 for the Wildcats. There's a fake handoff, quarterback keeper. And he's going to pick up some yards there. Picks up about 10 to bring up 3rd and 4, I'd say. All right. Saturday night, what is up, everybody? We were supposed to have like a pretty bad storm last night, and it was okay, but it kind of fizzled out. It really didn't. You know, it was like, oh man, this could be like near hurricane force, but winds probably didn't get over 30 miles an hour. All right, it is 3rd down and 4 for Kentucky, and they're making some noise in Athens. Out of the shotgun. Another quarterback keeper, nowhere to go. Smothered, covered, and diced. All right. Good stop by the Dawgs there. All right, thank you, A-Bomb. This is on ESPN, the Total Sports Network. All right, that is a punt. Georgia's going to take it from the 10 to the 20, 25, 30, and out of bounds at the 32. And there is a flag. Of course there's a flag, right? Let's see what the call is going to be here. John McDade is our referee. This is going to be on Georgia. Looks like holding on the receiving team. No, it's a block in the back on Georgia. Well, that was a decent return and a decent field position, but that's going to be erased. Okay, well, we're going to go to our first break of the game. Glad to have everyone aboard for Georgia and Kentucky. Ethan is a Michigan fan because his dad played baseball for Michigan. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that is a huge school. Man, when you go to a football game in Michigan, there's close to 100,000 people at that place. That is pretty epic. All right, more play-by-play reaction coming up next. And you'll see we've finally gone ahead and put the scoreboard on the timeout screens like A-Bomb does. So now you can keep up. You can see that scoreboard. We're in a break. All right. Coming up at halftime, our PGA correspondent and liaison, Chris Davies, will be joining us. We'll be talking about a guy named Matt Every, who just was issued a 12-week suspension by PGA for testing positive to cannabis. So we're going to get the latest on that story at halftime with our PGA correspondent. Meanwhile, back in Athens at 0-0, the Dawgs are going to get it back now. And after the penalty, it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 9. We did have it at the 32, but the flag brought us back. Murray drops back. He's got time. Sidearms it. Complete for a short gain. So he had to check that down to the running back and only got a couple. He had time, but everybody was covered, apparently. Michigan, Penn State tonight. All right, keep an eye on that. Yeah, if you are watching along with us on television and we're your second screen, I'll tell you how to sync us up. But first, the 2nd and 7 play, there's going to be a screen of our own from Georgia, and that's going nowhere. The screen to nowhere. Loss of 3. So if you have a TiVo or a DVR, Ethan, go ahead and pause that. If probably about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. Sometimes it's been even a minute. If you don't have that, then you probably will not be able to sync us. I wonder if I have a delay on tonight, or is it just the normal internet latency? The delay is not enabled. All right, 3rd down and 8 for the Dawgs. Murray with time. Incomplete. He sailed that one high, so it's 4th down from our own 9-yard line as the rain comes down in Athens, Georgia. But this isn't baseball. There will be no weather delays unless some bad lightning comes out. I do have a slate for weather delays, but I guess I don't have it loaded. All right, that's a punt is going to be returned from the 35 to the 40. 45 back across midfield. Out of bounds about the 47 for the Wildcats. Initially a good punt. The receiver had to backpedal, but a good return across midfield for the Wildcats. So they'll have it with about 6:49 or so left in the first quarter. More play-by-play reaction on deck for you. And it is sponsored by treasurehunt.ga. Go click on Sports Fans. If you can't sync, we apologize for the inconvenience. Also under discussion on the halftime show with PGA correspondent Chris Davies, Tiger Woods' Ambien sex parties. Is that a thing? It is. So we'll have that conversation. All right. And going to the huddle, Ethan says, can we maybe look at the Michigan game a little after this, like 30 minutes? I don't know if I'll be able to switch over, Ethan. I'm watching this over an internet connection. I can't just change a channel. It's like a web page. It's ESPN's. All right, Kentucky's got that at the 46, and they're going to try to run around the end. Nothing doing. Cornerback shuts them down. No gain. I don't even know who the players are on Michigan. I would probably be lost trying to call that one. But it sounds like a good game. I definitely plan on watching some of that, like the second half of that game, if I get that on TV. Kentucky looks to throw. Has to throw it out of bounds. Nothing there. That'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats with 6:01 in the first. It's 0-0. And X-Mac has landed in the huddle. Don't panic, because we're going to make it to a championship game. Yeah, if you're going to lose early. And if South Carolina ends up having a decent season, even though they were 3-3 when we played them, that'll help better with the API stuff. But I mean, basically, and I think A-Bomb mentioned this a little bit during the Falcons game last week, is Kentucky rolls out left. Quarterback's going to have to try to run it, and he is not going to get the first down, about 3 yards short. So that'll bring up 4th down, and I don't know, they might be in 4th down territory here. I don't think they're going to go for a field goal. But we got to win the East, so we can win the East. And if you win the East and you go to the SEC championship, you win that. Now, I think, isn't that probably going to be an automatic entry into any kind of championship situation, any playoff thing? Or maybe I'm thinking of basketball. 4th and 2, Cats are going for it from the 38, and there's a whistle. Timeout, Cats. All right. That would be a long field goal, so that's 4th down territory. They might as well go for it. Wow, man. That Penn State Michigan game, Ethan's talking it up in the huddle. I will have to watch some of that. All right, we're going to a break here. A big 4th down effort from the Wildcats is coming up next. Tonight's play-by-play is sponsored by TreasureHunt.ga. Go click on Sports Fans. And then go on to the men's room. Hey, we are about to come back here to Athens. I am the Bone Crusher. And I took some creatine today, and I did have my workout. I like creatine and all. There's a lot of bang for the buck, but it just doesn't give you that roid rage, that rage you want in a supplement. All right, 0-0 here in Athens. Number 10, Georgia, visiting Kentucky. And Wildcats still going for it. 4th and about 2 from the Georgia 38 as the rain comes down in Athens. Man in motion. 2 wide receivers. And there's movement. They moved. Georgia's defense shifted, and I guess Kentucky flinched. Offsides, Wildcats. So that'll push them back, I guess, 5 yards. Now it's going to be 4th and 7 from the about the 43, and they may be bringing the field goal unit out now. Well, if you're on offense, that has got to be frustrating. You don't even get a chance. You don't. All right, they are punting. Let's see if they can coffin corner kick it. Fair catch, flag. The ball's rolling around to about the 5. So good punt there. That pins us down to the 5, but let's check the laundry here. Well, they don't have the referee's microphone turned on, so I don't know what he said. Illegal formation on Kentucky, so they're going to have to punt again. After pinning us down to the 5, they're going to have to back up. Still, it's not going to be a long punt. They still have a chance to corner kick it. And they're going to try it again. Another fair catch. Another bounce. And takes a Georgia bounce out about the 20. So that's much better than being down at the 5. X-Max still a miss over the Blankenship missed field goal. Well, Ethan, I'm thinking Michigan. They're at home. If this game's at Michigan, I'm going to go Michigan. All right, Dawgs have it. 1st and 10 at the 20 with 5:03 in the first quarter. 0-0 from at the shotgun. Hands off to Swift, and he gets about 3 yards in a cloud of dust. All right, well, it's probably going to be Michigan, yeah. 2nd and 7. Dawgs with 4 wide receivers. Delay handoff. Not much there. Well, maybe you could add more blockers. So that'll bring up 3rd down for Georgia. And after halftime, we're probably going to take a little bit of the audio feed from ESPN, and you'll get to listen to their coverage for a little bit. I have to go pick up producer Beth, so that's going to be the plan there, just for maybe half a quarter. All right, from out of shotgun, another delayed handoff, and another short gain. So the crowd doesn't like the play calling here. What are you doing? So that's 4th down. Georgia's going to need to punt. Don't like the play call. Fromm pleading his case with Kirby. I don't think he liked the play call either. If you're going to run it in that situation, run it like a boss. Don't delay it. Don't delay handoff. Don't try to finesse it. All right, that punt is going to go out of bounds about the 25, 24. Cayman Kinley is back in the house. What up, dude? Saturday night, Cayman? With the Bone Crusher and the Bulldogs. That's what's up. Midwest Sports is here. I know Midwest has probably got some reaction of his own coming up. I do check out your channel sometimes and catch a few highlights. A-Bomb is the Falcons game tonight. Falcons tomorrow. So I imagine A-Bomb's got the Falcons game for us tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to his channel if you have not already. Uh-oh. A-Bomb's struggling with the beta studio again, maybe. All right, we are in a break right now. Kentucky's going to have it. And don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll be talking with our PGA correspondent, Chris Davies, discussing the suspension of two-time tour winner Matt Every for cannabis. And then we're going to kind of get into the seedy underbelly of the drug world inside the PGA Tour. All right, their quarterback, dual threat. He can run it, he can throw it. And that is a handoff to the left. Gain of about 5 yards. And their running back looks hurt. He might have a dislocated shoulder or something. I don't know. He's slow to get up. He's going to have to come off the field. My guess is dislocated shoulder the way he's carrying himself. Ethan offering his help. There you go. Oh, right down on that shoulder. Or maybe it's his elbow. So, sorry, Smoke. Great name. Second 5, Wildcats. From the 29, their own 29. 2:30 left in the first quarter. Handoff up the middle, couple yards. 3rd and 3. Maybe this quarterback cannot throw it that well. I haven't seen him throw too many passes, actually. In fact, he has had 1 pass. 9 runs, 1 pass from Kentucky. 3rd and 3. Definitely. And quarterback's going to keep this one. Try to get outside. No, he's going to throw it now, and out of bounds it goes. Yeah, that was a busted up run play. It'll be 4th and 3. Not great conditions for a running style. I mean, this field's gotten wet and sloppy. You can't turn the corners well. If you're going to run it right now, you want to line up straight and go between the tackles here. All right, punting unit has come out. Georgia to receive. That's a good punt, and that's going to roll out of bounds. It's going to roll into the end zone. They almost pinned that down. Whew. All right. They're going to catch us with one of those. Their kicker, Duffy, has been practicing the coffin kick. And Kamen says, driving by the game now as we speak, just a light drizzle. So maybe the field's not that sloppy. I know there's been a good bit of rain today. And Ethan says we have a new subscriber. All right. Thank you for the subscriber check. You'll see that number on your screen tick up. And everyone gets a little shot of dopamine. 206 subscribers. Thank you very much, and keep them coming. Go ahead and hit the like button, too. I haven't mentioned that yet, but if you hit the like button, that helps us up in the search results. Get ahead of those fake videos. Another handoff up the middle. Ooh, was that a face mask? Not a lot of yards there. No flag. Well, maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain there. Second and 6 for Georgia. Swift at halfback. 3 wide receivers. Another handoff to the left, and Swift picks up about a yard. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bone Crusher Show. X-Mac is watching Jacob Easton take on the Oregon Ducks. What a shootout game. All right, who are the Ducks playing? Jacob Easton, huh? Is Georgia struggling? Lucky 7 is in the huddle. Georgia's having a little trouble getting some offense going here on a sloppy field, a bit of a rainy night. And there's a throw finally. And that will be a first down for the Dawgs. Finally, here we go. On 3rd and 4, they finally throw it. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Oh, that Jacob Eason, former Dog. And speaking of Dog quarterbacks, I think it was Aaron Murray who got drafted by the XFL. I think a lot of the players that were like in that league that folded, I don't even remember what it was called last season. Some of them have signed in with the XFL, which is owned by Vince McMahon, the wrestling folks. And they did that XFL thing a few years ago, right? So I guess it's back. They're trying again. You know, and every time one of these new football leagues comes out, I mean, I enjoyed the arena football. I went to a few games. But it just seems like everyone's kind of all footballed out. There's really not enough room in our lives for more football. But I tell you what, as long as there's divorced dads, there's probably going to be some minor league football bullshit you can take your kid to. All right, we are in break. So let's go to break and get a refreshment. More play-by-play reaction is next. Hang on. All right, heading back to Athens, where Fromm is 4 for 5. 8 yards passing. Wow. Poultry statistics. All right. Well, I missed that play. It looks like the Dogs picked up a few yards. And here is a update for Oregon and Washington. Oregon's leading 35-31. Late in the fourth. Looks like a good game. Meanwhile, 2nd 6 for the Dogs at their own 34. Handoff to Swift. He gets through the line of scrimmage and across the 40 for a first down. OMG, Tennessee versus Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Ooh, I think we can imagine what's going to happen there. All right, we are in the second quarter now. Fromm drops back. He has to scramble. He gets the screen off. No dice. Wasn't even a screen, just kind of a Swift out by himself, but nowhere to go. And Fromm was under pressure. Has anyone tried the Arby's beer cheese roast beef? I didn't know that was a thing. 2nd and 17 for Georgia. Quick screen pass. It doesn't quite develop. Nothing there. Man, screen passes don't work in sloppy conditions. Yeah, Tennessee will probably get a butt whooping, Ethan. Cayman will eat anything from Arby's. Hell yeah. I didn't like the turkey gyro. Their gyros are okay, but it was like some sort of turkey wrap that was not very good. But I like the Arby's. What's the shake? The Jamocha shake. Oh yeah, love the Jamocha. 3rd and 16. Here we go. Fromm with time. Throws deep over the middle. Tipped and incomplete. Another punting situation. 0-0 here with 12-12 in the first half to go. And there's that punt from Georgia, and that's going to bounce into the end zone. Almost stuck the landing, but that's a touchback. What time is that Falcons game, and who are we playing tomorrow, A-Bomb? A-Bomb will have all your play-by-play reaction for Falcons football tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe to his channel if you have not done so already. We are in a timeout. It's 0-0 Georgia, Kentucky. More play-by-play reaction straight ahead. A-Bomb, our moderator, down in the huddle, reminiscing about living behind an Arby's. Whenever there's a dead possum in the parking lot, you just flick it over the fence and let Arby's deal with it. That's the plan. Ugh, I'm dropping shit. All right. And X-Max says we have a final. Washington lost with 53 seconds on the clock. Well, it's not over quite yet. Used to live next to an Arby's. I remember those apartments in Athens behind the Arby's. I remember, I guess I moved back to town. I stayed there for a few days or a couple weeks or something. And I remember I met some girl on the internet and she came over. She had like some bad breath. So, you know, I made her do it doggy style so I didn't have to have her breath in my face. 2nd and 10. Quarterback keeper. Nothing there for Kentucky. I don't know. I don't see how Kentucky's offense is going to get anything done ever. Ooh, the Sooners wagon tipped over in the pregame. No, did anybody get hurt? So tomorrow it's Atlanta and the Rams. Join A-Bomb for play-by-play reaction. And this crowd making some noise on a 3rd down conversion. Kentucky 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. With 4 wide receivers, 3 lined up on the right side. Now they got 5 wide receivers. A running team is going to go for it. They're going to pass it deep down the sideline. That is complete. Oh, he loses it. He had it. Lost it. No flag. There's a ton of contact. I'm surprised there was not an interference call. And, wow. Couldn't quite hang on, I guess. Let's see the replay. Ooh, he had it. Then it just kind of slipped out. It is a wet ball. Ooh. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Kentucky's punter has a kind of a weird stance. He like runs with it. I don't know, maybe he's a soccer player. Or a rugby or an Australian rules football style kick kind of thing going on. Punt is not returned. Okay, it is a final. Washington lost. A-Bomb with the new tires. Now there is that hashtag Van Life thing I watch on YouTube and follow on Instagram. There's a girl named Hobo Alley, and right now she is living in a Honda Civic. So that's her. Instead of a van, now she's in a Honda Civic. So yeah, I think that's just going too far on that whole premise. All right, Dawgs have it. Fake handoff. Fromm drops back, throws complete to the 40. 1st down. All right. Well, you know, if you're going to run it and run it and run it and run it, and when you do go to pass it, do what they just did in play action. That's when the play action really has a big impact. And it worked. So 1st and 10, Georgia at their own 40 with 9:42 in the first half. Run up the middle. Swift picks up about 4 or 5 there. You leave for a couple decades and the place goes to shit. Damn. They had a little gym down there, nice laundry room area. And you were next to an Arby's. Incomplete pass. Third and 5, and they're saying the rain is coming down harder now. And Georgia with only one third down conversion of their own. And if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. That'll help us get more, do better in the search results and get more folks in here. Third and 5. He's going to have to keep it. Nowhere to pass to, and he is going to be close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. He might be a couple inches short. They're going to have to measure this. You know, he didn't wait too long. Decided to go ahead and run it. And that's going to be a first down. He got the spot. Ooh. And you hate seeing the quarterback run sometimes. I mean, think what happened with Mahomes, the KC quarterback, dislocated his kneecap. Oh, can you imagine? Are they going to review the spot here? That might have been. Let's see where his knee is. The ball is very... Yeah, I think that's going to be a first down. They're going to take a look at that. Cayman and A-Bomb trading stories about the crappy apartment complex behind the Arby's. Being across the street from the Kroger is pretty convenient. And you're not too far from that crappy bar inside the hotel down the street. So Cayman's in Athens tonight. A great town to be in, the classic city. I feel like going downtown, watching the game at the taco stand or Little Italy maybe. Oh, they're reversing the first down call. Son of a bitch. 4th and inches. Whew. Dogs are going for it here on 4th down. The rain is throwing. It's going to be hard to get a good surge off the line of scrimmage in this mud. Actually, the field's in pretty good shape. And XMAC reporting Illinois beat Wisconsin. All right, jumbo package, 4th and 1. Quarterback keeper, does he get it? He might not have gotten it. Nope, I don't think he got it. Nope. He got nothing. Shit. I mean, they've lost a couple inches. So Kentucky will have it at the Georgia 49 3/4 yard line. Oh, turnover on downs. That hurts. Poor exchange. Fromm didn't have good control over it, and he's basically relying on the guys behind him to push him forward. Didn't work out. You just can't get good traction for that sort of play in the rain. Well, Kentucky, I mean, their offense has been pretty anemic as well. 8:19 left in the first half, 0-0. No one get anything done. Kentucky's quarterback bound scrambling, and he's going to be sacked. Welcome to the huddle, Rod. Rod Alexander's in the house. Yeah, Rod, the play calling is a little bit weird today. I mean, I don't know if they're... What's going on? Is the rain a factor? Why are they calling these plays? Why are we looking so poor running it? Not a lot of pass attempts. I think Fromm had like 4 completions for 8 yards or something. You know, they're not throwing downfield much. Kentucky quarterback keeper on the fake, and he's in a rumble. Be about 5 yards short of a first down. Picks up about 8, so it's 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. Another third down conversion. I don't think they've had a third down conversion all night, or maybe one, maybe none. You know, I could see Jake Fromm, State Farm, was frustrated with some of the play calling on a 4th down and or it was like a 3rd and 3 maybe, and we ran it. He wanted to pass it. So disagreeing with some of the play calling with his own coach, Kirby Smart, as are a lot of Georgia fans tonight. All right, we are in a break, so let's take a timeout here and come back with the rest of the first half. It's 0-0 in Athens. Dawgs and Kentucky. This is the Bone Crusher Show. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be right back. And tonight's play-by-play is sponsored by treasurehunt.ga. Go click on Sports Fans. We're about to come back. right, here we go. Back in Athens. Sorry, had a little hiccup in the feed. Kentucky with the end around. Pass. Incomplete. So, Bowden hands off. The running back goes left, and then he flicks it to the wide receiver, who stops and passes to the tight end, who couldn't quite reel it in. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, it looks like Georgia's cornerback got a hand on that. Little trickery from the Wildcats does not help out there on the third down conversion. They're going to be punting 4th and 5. Max Duffy with already 4 punts tonight, averaging 52 yards per punt. The snap is off, but Duffy gets it off. And that's going to go out of bounds. About the 11, takes a Kentucky bounce there. So Duffy, a good kicker, a good punter is. All right, well, they're going to go to break again. We're going to keep it right here. Let's see, it was Coastal Carolina 27 and Georgia Southern 30 in triple overtime today. Congratulations to Georgia Southern. They are 3-3 on the season. Cayman's saying 13-3 is his prediction. LSU is balling hard this season. All right. I saw a little bit of that game today. Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking with our PGA correspondent, Chris Davies, about Matt Every, the two-time tour winner's 12-week suspension from the PGA after testing positive for cannabis. And we'll also be talking about Tiger Woods' Ambien sex parties. That is scheduled for halftime on the Bone Crusher Show. Here in Athens, though, about 6:38 left in the first half. What are you guys up to tonight? Saturday night, got some Georgia Bulldogs. Probably having a cold beverage, an adult beverage. Now Chick-fil-A's got mac and cheese now. Man, I bet that costs like $3 or something crazy for like 40 cents of macaroni and cheese. We are still in a break. Georgia, Kentucky. Man, what a no-scoring event. Still 0-0. The offenses are looking anemic. It is a sloppy mess. So that's the only... I guess you have to coach it a little differently in a rain situation like this. That's all I can think of. But Kentucky does not have a great offense, at least not in this situation. I mean, they've got a quarterback who runs it virtually exclusively. I mean, I saw him throw a pass or two. It looked pretty good, but doesn't throw much. They will often put 3 guys in the backfield. I mean, it's like we're playing Navy or Army or something. All right, Dogs have it 1st and 10 at the 10. Swift at halfback. Fromm calls an audible. 2 seconds on the clock. They get it off. Handoff. Nowhere to go. Swift rumbles for a couple. And after halftime, we're going to probably let you listen in on the feed from ESPN and their announcers for just a little bit. course, we cannot show you the game footage, but we will have that treat for you in the beginning of the second half. Second and 7 for Georgia. Another handoff to Swift. He gets around one guy, luckily. Crosses first down marker. Keeps going. Another 15 yards after the first down. Swift with his longest run of the night. That could have got, he almost got busted up in the backfield. But once he got past that initial tackler, he had a lot of space to run. So Swift, that big run gives him 58 on the night. 8 rushes, 58 yards. That's a 7.3 average. But before that run, those stats weren't looking as generous. So great run there for Swift. Dawgs have it now at about the 34. And they're lining up with double tight ends. The snap is wild, and Fromm has to pounce on it. So big loss there. So bad snap. And they're lining up with no wide receivers, basically. Everyone playing tight. Here in the rain in Athens, Georgia tonight. Second and 19 after that disastrous snap. There's a handoff to Swift. He's going to cut it inside to the 40, 45, down at midfield. First down, Georgia. All right. So Swift's going to have probably close to 90 yards. Or maybe closer to 80. Now it looks like a Kentucky player is not getting up so quickly, so it wouldn't be a little delay here. So they take a look at their linebacker. And that's going to take us to an injury timeout here. Rod's got no plans if Georgia loses. I hear you. That can ruin your whole weekend, right, Rod? I totes used to be like that, man. If my team lost on Saturday, if the Dawgs lost on Saturday, and then the Falcons lost on Sunday, it's like the whole weekend was ruined. I try not to let it. I'll sulk, I'll dwell on it for about 5 minutes, and then I'll just kind of have to push myself to instead of crying in my beer, to just get over it. It is raining like a mofo up in Gwinnett County. Abom with a little weather update. Abom's on a water challenge. I'm trying to go as long as I can, only drinking water. Only water since Monday. What? And you're holding up pretty well Monday. Man, you better get some protein, son. The water challenge. Consult your doctor. Yeah, but do take some protein. You need the dangerous thing about doing that for weight loss, or I don't know if it's dangerous, but the caveat here is you will lose weight, but you're also going to lose muscle. It's going to attack everything. So nothing wrong with some fasting. Just get some protein in you. Whether it's a protein shake. I know you're supposed to be just water, but well, you'll probably feel like $1 million after you clean all that toxins out of you. Oh, I missed the whole post. Only water since Monday. Well, glad you're eating normal. Oh, I see. Eating normal, just drinking water. Okay, that's a big relief. So no beer. That's basically water, right? And I'm having a little trouble here from the ESPN satellite. I think we've lost our feed. Let's see if we can get that back here. All right, let's sort through that, take a quick break. We'll come back with the rest of the first half. It's all tied up at 0. All right, sorry about the delay there. We missed a play. Holding call on the Dawgs there. So that's going to bring up second down. .305 left in the first half, 0-0. Second down for Georgia. And the rain is coming down. All the rain's moved out here on the panhandle of Northwest Florida, where I'm at. I understand a lot of our dog fans around the southeast getting pretty wet tonight. Man, I was just very grateful for a break from all the heat. Finally. That was really our first day of any kind of fall-like weather at all. So 2nd and 19 for the Dawgs. Fake handoff. Fromm drops back. He's got time. Now he's under pressure. He's scrambling. He's going to have to run. He picks it up to the 46-yard line he goes. Picks up a few there, so that'll bring up 3rd and a mile for the Dawgs. So the Gators beat South Carolina. Oh my. And Georgia Tech over Duke. Go Yellow Jackets. And 3rd and 13 for Georgia. Fromm with 28 yards passing on the game. Hard to comprehend that. All right, Fromm's looking to pass again, and he's going to have to run it again. And he goes down about the 45, no gain. 1:48 and ticking. So Kentucky will have a chance here to get on the board. Kentucky has 2 timeouts left. That was Tech over Miami. That's even a bigger win. Anyone can beat Duke. And the punt from Georgia. That is going to bounce and roll down to about the 16. Minute 3. Kentucky's going to have it with 1:03, 2 timeouts, and they need about 85 yards to get in the end zone in this 0-0 game. And we got 10 in the box. Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm the Bone Crusher. Your moderator tonight is A-Bomb. And make sure you subscribe to A-Bomb's channel to get tomorrow's Falcons game, taking on the Rams. Like and subscribe. All right, 1st and 10 for Kentucky, and they got it at the 16. And they're going to run it. for a gain of a yard. So Kentucky is not going to try to force the issue here in the rain. Let's see if anyone, no one's even calling a timeout. There, someone calls a timeout. I think George is saying, hey, maybe if you're just going to run it, we're going to stop the run, call timeouts, and get it back. Maybe we can play a little field possession here, get a field goal attempt before the end of the half. Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking with our PGA correspondent, Chris Davies. So stay tuned for that. We'll be talking about the 12-week suspension of two-time tour winner Matt Every. He was busted for cannabis use. And are Tiger Woods' Ambien sex parties a real thing? That's coming up at halftime. 2nd and 9 for Kentucky. .50 seconds left in the first half. Kentucky is on the 17 now. Another run. And they do not get the first down. Pick up about 5, though. And timeout, Georgia. So Georgia's thinking about getting the ball back here if Kentucky is just going to run it. And that's all they've done. They're not trying to get down the field. They are not trying to score. An interesting, coaching strategy, not trying to score and all. Yeah, you're right, X-Mac. The way they're playing, no one's trying to score. It's an old-style field possession game. And we got to say that's probably got to be due to the weather as the rain continues to come down in Athens. So 3rd and 3 for Kentucky. 44 seconds. And they're probably just going to run it. Make Georgia use their last timeout. They've got 3 wide receivers, though. Let's see. And there's a handoff and a first down for Kentucky. Clock stops momentarily. And there it starts back up again. Yes, Kentucky's just going to let that tick out, I guess. Ten seconds. Clock is ticking. And Kentucky takes a knee there. That takes us to the halftime. It is 0-0 in Athens. Unbelievable. 5-1 Dawgs and the 3-3 Wildcats. Yeah, crush that like button. Thank you, X-Mac. Hit the like button. That helps us in the search results. And X-Mac is high as hell. His apologies. Don't apologize. Don't apologize for that. That's not a sin or anything. All right, I didn't get a chance to edit this or preview it, but this is our halftime portion of the show. And so we're going to drop in our interview, our conversation with Chris Davies, our PGA correspondent. It is halftime here on the Bone Crusher Show, and it is time to welcome aboard our PGA Liaison live via satellite and international playboy, Chris Davies.
What's up?
Hey, brother. Well, what's up here? I just took some creatine to start my workout. Bang for the buck, but it just doesn't give you that roid rage you want in a supplement,
Not really the the pain pills and all the nastiness you want in a super roided out golfer.
Yeah.
So,
Well, before we get into Matt Every, who just got suspended, what are you up to? Last we checked in with you, you were tearing up hotels on the Eastern Seaboard as a caddy on the Hooters tour. Are you still doing that, or have you gone back to installing PCAMs in sorority houses?
No, the Hooters tour is no longer, and now I am back to just essentially whatever odd jobs I find, and I am okay with putting in sorority cams, whenever it's available. So
freelance PCAMs, sorority houses.
That's right. Beyond that, I'm okay. What's your stance on the epidemic? Apparently, golfers are, they're always big drinkers, and they're, beyond that, they're pill heads and God knows what else. So,
you don't hear a lot of people talk about golfers and performance-enhancing drugs, or in this case, Matt Every just got a 12-week suspension. He's a two-time tour winner, and he's suspended for marijuana, for cannabis.
$7.5 million, man. I mean, this guy is he's sort of a low liar on the tour, but he's big numbers. And when you look back at the stretch, God knows he's done well for himself.
He won the Arnold Palmer twice, and last week he tied for 28th. And you were saying that's still a pretty good paycheck.
It is a good paycheck. I mean, that's still, $200,000 or $300,000.
I mean, you come in 30th at a PGA Tour event, you're like, I won, I did it.
Absolutely, without question. There's no way that he can't rebuild his team, man, because you watch Tiger sneak up on the Masters. You watched, you watched Jordan Spieth just sort of walk up and go, "Hey, I just won this shit," Unbelievable.
Well, we are at halftime of UGA Kentucky game, and speaking of UGA, you were talking about I don't know if you had a chance to look into this. A UGA player, a UGA golfer who won the Masters but was accused of cheating. Was this a case of performance enhancing supplements, or?
No. This was moving a ball too far, and the rules are very specific. And they're yeah. When you work with that, that's the mechanics of the game are very, very tight. And
that PGA rule book is pretty fat. I mean, and that's sort of, I guess, the respect they tried to give the game by following a lot of these rules. And apparently there's a rule against cannabis, but not against Tiger Woods' Ambien sex parties. Is that like in the rule book? That
without question, it's okay. I'm Tiger Woods.
I am Tiger Woods. Yeah, Tiger Woods would give him and his mistress Ambien because he says it enhances the sexual experience. And my refill of Ambien's coming up on Wednesday, so I'm thinking producer Beth and myself could have an Ambien sex party, Tiger Woods style.
Didn't you damn near crash a car over that?
I busted an oil pan. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was under the influence of Ambien and maybe like a Coors Light, and hit the curb. And, yeah, but I got a new oil pan put on it. There was no cops or anything involved. I learned my lesson without too much damage done. Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, one of my
Okay.
finer moments, actually. Yeah.
Well, we could have all we could have all been worse off. Patrick West did win the Masters and was, I don't know, successful in, in that. Beyond that, I'm not really sure. But yeah, he goes beyond his predecessors, um, of a Watson. Um,
Mm-hmm.
who else? Nah, I'm sorry.
UGA play. You come up trying to think of UGA players that were on the tour or won the Masters?
Yeah. Well, that's the only two I know of.
That's a good deep trivia question. If there, how many UGA golfers have ever gone on to win the Masters? That's probably a pretty short list.
It actually is, and when you get right down to it, damn, that's the only two I can think of.
Well, in the long history of the Masters and its proximity to Athens, you'd think that actually this probably could have happened 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago.
Yeah, but when you
Let's
get
see what
right,
Google has to say about it.
well, when you get back down to it, though, these guys, you're talking about amazing people, in the golf industry. You're discussing Freddie Couples. You're dealing with guys that had tenacity that that surmised to none. And Tiger's one of them. So,
Right, on the line with us via satellite, our PGA correspondent, Chris Davies. In this Matt Every story, in this Tiger Woods Ambien sex stuff, has me curious about some of the stuff going on, the seedy underbelly of the golf world. And you mentioned as we started the show, lots of drinking, lots of pill poppers. What kind of shenanigans are going on that we don't hear about, because we have this image of a squeaky clean thing and a thick rule book, but
no, it's not really that, man. It's a bunch of drunkards who have have penis problems, and it's what it is, man. It's we get by only by the size of our clubs, and it's like, okay, well, you hit the ball this far, yay. But
yeah, I mean, when I've been out on the golf course with you, half of the fun is getting stuck in a porta potty and tipping it over.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because I had a conversation about that a couple of days ago. It's like, hey man, you remember when we stuck you in the shitter and tilted it over? I'm like, yeah, I do.
But let me guess, that did not stop Chris Davies from having his good time. I bet you finished out the back nine covered in porta potty shit.
I did. Yeah, I had blue water on my pants.
No one's gonna stop me from a good time. I'm Chris Davies.
Yeah, without question. I had blue water on my pants.
It just enhances the reminiscing. It makes the fondness.
Well,
even
you'd
greater when you look back.
You'd like to think that, but in my latter days of just being a stupid drunkard, I'm thinking
with penis problems.
Well, it still works.
Tie some popsicle sticks and some twine, wrap it up. There you go. That'll work.
And that's the rest of the story.
Good day. Good day. All right. Well, thanks again for taking time to join us on the Bone Crusher Show here at halftime.
What's up?
Yeah. And this might be a format you might want to start picking up yourself, and maybe we can have some regular content.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Well, what's the rest of your weekend looking like?
I'm free.
You want to join the Peace Corps?
Monday Night Football coverage begins.
I know you're looking for some sort of extended thing to do.
Louisville, Clemson, according to FPI, this is the second hardest remaining game left on Clemson's schedule. And at least early on, Trevor Lawrence was making some mistakes.
Trevor Lawrence came into the game already with 6 picks thrown, threw 2 bad interceptions into the end zone early, and this one picked off by Russ Yeast.
All right, 17 seconds left to go in the half. You could say that Lawrence is trying to chuck one up there at the end of the half to Justin Ross.
Yeah, no, but you're still in field goal range. You don't take this chance. Now, it works out, but this leads to bad decisions later with Trevor Lawrence trying to make plays that just aren't there.
And then to Cornell Powell for 10 yards.
Travis Etienne ran for 192 yards. They were rolling. Defense, again, lights out.
22 straight for Clemson, 45-10 to final. What about perhaps the story of the year? SMU looking to be undefeated, remain undefeated. Finds Reggie Roberson for 33 yards.
Yeah, and SMU making it look easy in this game. Jumped out 24-7 in the first half, and Temple just had no answer.
Get used to Buechele Roberson Jr. in this highlight.
Yeah, Buechele throws 6 touchdown passes. 3 of them go to Roberson Jr. He had 250 yards receiving. SMU, they look like they're for real. One of these teams is going to be vying for that New Year's 6 bowl spot.
You seen enough of Buechele Roberson?
Yeah, and they're ranked 19 in the AP. It'll be interesting to see.
All right, I got to step out for a sec and pick up producer Beth and be right back. I'll let you guys listen in to the second half, at least the beginning of it, on the ESPN satellite feed. Be right back.
Oklahoma State. L.D. Brown won't go down 68 yards later.
See, it's not just all about Chuba Hubbard leaving the nation in rushing yards. How about L.D. Brown ripping off this 68-yarder?
Later in the fourth, Baylor, 3rd and goal. Charlie Brewer had a nice game, gets in from 2 yards out.
Yeah, Brewer threw for 312, but it took 21 points in the fourth quarter for Baylor to get in this game.
Hey, look, good teams find a way to win on the road, and they do here defensively. Spencer Sanders the fumble. We had a scoop and score.
Spencer Sanders, very talented young freshman. 2 turnovers, though, killed his team in this one. And Baylor, just watch out, could be unbeaten playing Oklahoma in a few
Continue to
weeks.
say it. Matt Rule, what a job. Our Mercedes-Benz road to the championship. Could it still go through Athens and DeAndre Swift? Right now, we've got a good old weather struggle at the half, 0s apiece.
It's not pretty good or nothing. It's not acceptable or nothing. And it's definitely not close enough or nothing. Mercedes-Benz SUVs were built, designed, and engineered with only one mission in mind: to be the absolute best. In the category, in the industry, in the world. Test drive one of 7 Mercedes-Benz SUVs at your authorized dealer today. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
And Doug.
Hour 36 of the stakeout. As soon as the homeowners arrive, we'll inform them that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, so they'll only pay for what they need. Your turn to keep watch, Limu. You wake me up if you see anything. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The super big Samsung QLED TV is made for football. Sure, a TV this big makes Kid Series look ginormous.
A QLED TV.
Game shows look like an even bigger deal. And medical dramas look larger than life. But the super big Samsung QLED TV is made for football.
Is that...
Quesadillas? Gordon Ramsay handing out samples. Seems like just an okay use of your culinary talents, dude.
Yeah, it is, smart guy. Almost like having a brand new iPhone, but not pairing it with AT&T.
That's true, Gordon Ramsay.
Hey, fingers! It's not a buffet. Use the cocktail stick.
The cocktail stick.
Get the most from your new iPhone on AT&T, America's fastest network for iPhones. Switch now and get up to $700 off the new iPhones.
Before the victory, there's this. The first step. You dig in, work hard, win or lose, try again. Those are big. But it all starts with that first step. And to get there, we come here, to the University of Kentucky, where every moment and every victory is wildly possible.
This halftime report is presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
UNC Virginia Tech is going to a 5th overtime because there have been 3 missed field goals in a row, 2 of which were for game winners. Look at Mac, 41 all. New overtime rules, by the way. We don't have time to get into those now. We will later. Uga's like, you know what? Nope.
It's dry in here.
I am staying put. Until there's offense, bring me a biscuit, human.
You can't put wings on a car. You can't see an accident coming. Or walk away from one like this. You can't make a car talk.
How can I help you?
You can't fight gravity. And you can't make one of the world's best SUVs even better. Go on, tell us what else you can't do. The all-new GLS.
Are we ready to go?
Possibly the safest, most spacious, most Mercedes SUV ever made. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
I'm your cat. And ever since you brought me home that day, well, I've been plotting to destroy you. Sizing you up, calculating your every move. You think this is love? This is a billion years of tiger DNA just ready to pounce. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, you could be coughing up the cash for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like meow.
Shine your light. They will see it. Oh, they will all see it. The world is watching the SEC, focused on our every move. There is no hiding here. That target on our chests, that beacon on our backs, burn them bright. Shine your light. Light up the night. Light the faces. Light the way.
Is that...
Quesadillas? Gordon Ramsay handing out samples. Seems like just an okay use of your culinary talents, dude.
Yeah, it is, smart guy. Almost like having a brand new iPhone, but not pairing it with AT&T.
That's true, Gordon Ramsay.
Hey, fingers! It's not a buffet. Use the cocktail stick.
And the cocktail stick.
Get the most from your amazing new iPhone 11 Pro on AT&T, America's fastest network for iPhones. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Welcome back to College Football Primetime on ESPN, presented by Hampton, by Hilton. The lights have gone out on the scoring. In the first half, nothing. Kentucky and Georgia. Georgia still in play for the college football playoff. So the question is, Rod Gilmore, how do you get this pass game on track if you're the Bulldogs?
Part of the problem. It's not the sole problem. The receivers for Georgia are struggling to get open. Now, whether they're facing press coverage or off coverage, they're still not having a good time getting them. See, you see combination coverage there, a little hands on the receivers. Even when they're in bail and they're coming down the field, they still are having a tough time. Really physical Kentucky secondary having its way right now with the Georgia receivers. So I expect Georgia to come out and throw on early downs to try to take advantage of the one-on-one coverage, because right now running on first and second down has been a challenge, unless DeAndre Swift breaks a couple for you like he's done so far for 81 yards in the first half.
A couple of gash plays for him is basically all the Georgia offense so far. Kentucky will see it first here in the second half. And the Wildcats with Rodriguez will have field position at the 34. Quinn Kesnick downstairs.
Yeah, the rain has actually picked up in intensity during halftime. It was interesting. Both teams are allowed to bring in new footballs for the second half. And talking to John McDade, who's in charge today, he said, they gave him at least a dozen. So you'll have dry footballs to start the third quarter, which may be a time to take a shot or two. The other thing is all these ball boys have to work hard to get a dry ball in the game.
Quinn, how's the wind? The wind should be the biggest factor.
Picking up a little right now, right to left. But, both coaches just expressed a hesitancy to throw the football.
A lot of possessions, a lot of punts so far in the game, and the weather's certainly a factor. That's A.J. Rose, just short of the 40-yard line.
And Jason, in Kentucky's case, Coach Stoops told me specifically that the issue with Bowden when he throws are sight lines. He's not the tallest cat in the world, and Georgia's front is tall. So in obvious throwing downs, it's likely that they will move him.
Yeah, they have to move him. And they've tried some, Q, but he's taken off and run with the ball and scrambled when he didn't find anybody his first read, his first option.
He's yet to complete a pass. Blitz coming from the corner, and Bowden clears it to the 45. Lynn Bowden Jr. with a first down as he got by Wilson.
You think about numbers first half for these quarterbacks. 0 yards passing for Kentucky. And how about Jake Fromm? 28 yards passing. Does that make any sense to you?
I would say it's predominantly the weather, but you showed us with the press coverage the struggles of the receivers getting open.
Yeah, I think there's a reluctance to take that chance, particularly for Georgia with young receivers on the outside. You can throw in the rain.
Bowden, a little step through. Oh, that's nifty. A high school quarterback turned receiver back to quarterback. That's beautiful.
Yeah, nice run. Again, we've talked about his ability to change direction, to cut on a dime, even on a wet field. Look at that. Dipsy-do. But listen, back to the weather. You can throw in the rain. It is wind that is a problem. As long as you can keep the ball dry, great. But listen, these aren't the two best passing teams in college football. So they're even more reluctant to throw in this weather. Your top passing teams wouldn't bat an eye at trying to throw so long as the wind isn't too high.
Kentucky's 104th in passing yards. Bowden runs this one again, and he jams on the accelerator right near the marker. Lynn Bowden Jr. said growing up he was a big fan of Marcus Mariota, in part because of the Oregon Ducks jerseys, but also his elusiveness. He's got another first down.
Yeah, and he can thank the inside of his offensive line. Jackson and Fortner did a good job of blocking for him, but I tell you what, they're not keeping the dirt off his back.
Dude, how much bleach are they going to need for his jersey by the end of this? I mean, the whole back of it is grass stains.
Oh, yes, indeed. But right now up front, he doesn't care about it. He's getting some good blocks by those big guys up front.
Mesh is good for Rose, and he's got no lane, so it's 2nd down and 9 for Kentucky as Nakobe Dean makes a stop. The ball boys, Quinn said it, that's a big job tonight. Big job.
Well, they got one of the best seats in the house. Normally, they get a little bit wet today.
A little. Quinn, is it a little wet down there?
The wind is picked up from the first half. It's much stronger right now, right to left. Perhaps you can see the raindrops slanting in that direction.
So right to left means it would help Kentucky if they try to throw now.
At Kentucky's back.
Play clock down to 4. They run this option, and it's Rose who's spun around, and he does sag for a couple of yards. 3rd and long.
Well, if you're Kentucky and you're thinking play selection here, you probably, with the wind at your back, have a chance at 3 points, which would be huge for anybody, right? So you don't want a mistake here. I think if they take the ball out of Bowden's hands right now, I'd be shocked.
You think in this tempest they'd kick?
I think so. I don't think on a 4th down you go. Get a chance to get up with a field goal if you can. But right now in this big 3rd down, I would expect Bowden to keep the ball.
3rd and 6. Bowden, they tried to go high. Flag comes in, maybe a face mask. Flag is in. It's a first down. If it stands, we'll see.
How about his toughness?
71.
He's coming back.
And Logan Stenberg, left guard.
Yeah, they go high with the mitt and miss the face mask, and so, yeah, they got very little bit, if any.
Yeah, but it was Stenberg, 71, who had a little hold going on before that, which really pushes him out of field goal range.
Youngstown's finest out of the shotgun.
You better have a spy on this quarterback.
Even if you have a spy Q, is he fast and quick enough to handle Bowden?
Bowden loads it up down the sideline for Wagner, and he has no chance to high point it. It's out of bounds. Got a punt here, right?
Well, I don't think you can make a field goal from this range with the condition of the field, a little sloppy and a wet football.
Yeah, that's why I get the idea that last play, but not on third down because it kind of leaves you.
Yeah. It's a great point.
You're not going to field this punt if you're Georgia. You're just going to be in punt, fake, protect. It's too dangerous to try to catch this kick.
Yeah, and Georgia's had poor field position all night.
Duffy allows the coverage to get back, and this ends up out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. Up the sideline to the 13. Georgia again rough field position. 10-18 to go in the third, still scoreless.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Everybody knows Enterprise picks you up. But can they solve all my transportation needs? Spoiler alert, they can.
You can buy from Enterprise Car Sales.
Sold. Car sharing. That's alarmingly sensible.
We even rent exotics.
That's good, because sometimes Mama wants to drive like a mother. Big trucks are kind of my jam. You guys make me feel so special.
Like a princess?
Exactly. Rent, buy, or share. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Payne thinks it makes the rules, but the rules just changed. New Icy Hot Lidocaine Dry Spray. Instant dry technology. No mess, no residue, fast acting relief. Rise from pain. New Icy Hot Lidocaine Dry Spray.
It's where a cowgirl can meet 480 horses. Where a Labradoodle owner can meet their next hybrid. Where the crew can meet its third row. And where a soccer mom can meet her MVP. Yeah. Over 500 million connections made. Find the car you'll love. We met on Cars.com.
Juju, what do you guys do on a bye week?
Buy some stuff from Pizza Hut. Oh, this stuff. Oh.
Call Pizza Hut now. Get 2 or more of your favorites from the 5 and Up lineup, starting at just $5 each. You can't have football without the Hut.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for October to get scary good as sleeper picks wake up and start handing out nightmares? Are you ready to change your password to Minshew 15?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the high notes are ready. The low notes are ready. The 12th manicure is ready. The underestimated, the overlooked, the looks exactly like you thought they would are ready. Are you ready?
No score as we take a look at tonight's PlayStation Player Impact rating, and it's DeAndre Square, who's yet to have a tackle attempt broken, entering play tonight, the sophomore linebacker, and DeAndre Swift, who tonight is at 9 yards a carry after dropping to about 5 last week. He's been the major offense tonight.
Well, 81 yards rushing for him tonight, attacking the perimeter, their outside zone or stretch play they've used to get him to the edge, and it's worked. That's something to look for them to come back to.
You know, that outside zone offense, which they use a bunch, James Coley said it might be something he discards because of the wet weather. We've not seen that yet tonight.
Well, that's because they're not getting anything inside. Right now, 95 Bohannon, 91 Taylor on that defensive line. They're winning. They're winning up front against what may be the best offensive line in college football. A little nosy safety. Corker sneaking around.
Another run inside, and that's not going much of anywhere.
Yeah, they've got nothing inside.
Matt Berry in the studio.
Okay, guys, I have your all-state mayhem moment between Virginia Tech and North Carolina. New rules this year, 5th overtime. Each team alternates 2-point conversion attempts, and Quincy Patterson gets in for the win. Virginia Tech in a wild one, 43-41.
That's a much-needed win for Justin Fuente, by the way.
Yep. 7 drives tonight by Georgia. 5 have been inside their 20. This drive as well, they've had poor field position all night.
They still have not run a play in Kentucky territory. This run is swallowed up and gouged by Oates.
Yeah, here come the Bluebirds. The Bluebirds.
He is feeling his Oates.
Well, you heard Kirby Smart talk to Q at halftime about the difficulty of throwing and the field condition. The field's pretty good. I think it's just the rain concerns him. The wind is in his face right now. Kentucky played along and got a stop.
After allowing a 74-yard run for a touchdown on the second play last week against Arkansas, the Cats only gave up 231 more yards. So this is a defense feeling confident. As this ball's juggled by Ali, it's on the ground. My goodness, what a disaster this would be for Kentucky. Who's got it at the bottom? It's Wildcat football.
And that's the kind of play that could be the difference in this game.
Wow. Take a chance in the rain. Oof, that is fortunate.
What does everyone want tonight? Tacos! You can call us crazy, that's okay. We'll get party packs delivered any day. Taco Bell Party Packs. Get your first delivery free on orders of $12 or more, only on Grubhub.
Crunchy satisfaction and cheesy perfection.
Ooh, who's winning?
I'm talking about Cheez-It, the perfect cheesy snack to watch the game with.
You know, I almost went pro, but I blew out my knee.
You don't have any knees, Cheese.
Man.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think I forgot to lock my Buick. Got it.
I bet you lunch you can't make it in there.
I'm thinking sushi.
Alexa, ask Buick to start my SUV.
You can do that?
You can do that? You can do that?
Yeah, with the Buick.
What?
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Or current eligible non-GM owners get 14 to 20% below MSRP on most of these Buick models.
These newlyweds are looking for their first home in the suburbs.
Hey babe, can you grab me lemonade?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Straw?
In 1979, Jiffy Lube changed everything by providing the first convenient oil change service.
Seriously?
4 decades later, Jiffy is changing everything again, offering services that are fast and convenient using manufacturer recommendations. Jiffy Lube, you can do more in a jiffy.
I want to keep doing what I love. That's the retirement plan. My annuity, I know there's a guarantee. It's for my family, it's for myself, it's for my future.
Annuities can provide protected income for life. Learn more at retireyourrisk.org.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Cheez-It, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff, and the Alliance for Lifetime Income, Learn more at retireyourrisk.org.
It's a cozy home for UGA 10 right there.
You know that in our celebration of 150 years of college football, UGA was one of the top 5 mascots.
He's been voted #1 elsewhere. I mean, he's clearly across the board.
Ralphie is a sight to behold at Colorado.
Oh,
How'd the tree do?
The tree dropped because you were in it earlier this year. Sorry. First down for Kentucky, which still has yet to complete a pass tonight. Bowden trying to change that. And he throws it tipped and incomplete. So Georgia has seen the doors swing open tonight. Mizzou lost to Vanderbilt. The only unbeaten team in the SEC East has gone down. Florida, Georgia, Mizzou all tied with 1 loss.
Look, right now you have to say nobody in the East is playing better than Florida. The way they played the last couple of weeks, including their loss to LSU, they did look like the cream of the crop in the East.
Rodriguez on the run. Quint, you were talking about it earlier, how good Florida looked in that second half of the game against South Carolina. They look unstoppable.
Especially considering the gauntlet that they put themselves through the last 3 weeks. I thought they might be on fumes today. That wasn't the case. Kyle Trask in the second half was outstanding. That's a huge win. Well, Gators now get a bye.
Yeah, they get a bye, and they can rest up and get healthy for a November push. And what do you do if you're Kentucky here? You've got 0 passing yards deep in your own territory. Do you take a chance and throw it, or do you let your main man, Bowden, scramble and run again?
Pressure coming. He spins away from Herring. Flag comes in. Bowden seeking that line to gain. He got there, but it's likely coming back with the flag as the walls were caving in on him.
Tackled close to the first down marker, but check the flag.
Holding. 67. Offense. Take out penalty. 3rd down.
Every time points are on the horizon, the sun sets.
You're not a happy camper about that.
Oh, no.
We got a good, tough defensive struggle going here. But they got Landon Young last time for a complete tackle, takedown, as he was trying to protect Bowden. It's 3rd and 15. Considering the way Kentucky's throwing the ball or not throwing the ball, it might as well be 3rd and 40, 3rd and 50.
To be clear, I'm all in for a pitcher's duel, by the way. This is like Maddox, Glavin, and Smoltz from back in the day.
All right.
Here.
I'm with you.
Screen game, maybe 3rd and 15. We'll see. Rodriguez stays in to block. It's a deep ball down the sideline. Wagner doesn't have a chance at it. Again, pinned to the sideline on the coverage, Stokes.
Well, they'll keep taking those shots every now and then with Wagner, who's 6'5" and a former basketball player. They want to give him a chance to out-jump one of those corners and make a big play.
Or draw a PI call, which he's gifted at.
Got 11 of them this year. They call him Ahmad Flagner in the Kentucky circles. This is not the best punt from Duffy, and it comes at a bad time. Georgia is going to have outstanding field position and will run a play from Kentucky territory for the first time as Kirby Smart says, let's go, and we'll see if they do when we come back.
Watch the Audi 2019 MLS Cup playoffs.
Rated M for mature. Targets are up.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but we're a little crazy, aren't we? On my mark. 3, 2, 1. Bravo 6, going dark.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Pre-order now.
PlayStation.
Lexus asks questions like these because we believe the most amazing machines are inspired by you. Experience the rewards of our curiosity.
How can I repay you?
This job's mostly pro bono.
So what do you get?
My name in the paper. Sometimes.
Don't get mad. Start investing with E-Trade.
All right, we got 26 in the box. Welcome aboard, everyone. We are in a break, Kentucky and Georgia. I'm the Bone Crusher. I had to step away to pick up producer Beth, but I am back. But since we are in...
Football wasn't born here, but it sure as heck grew up here. Where's it all headed next?
And we are enjoying audio from ESPN's satellite feed.
Saturdays in the South, Part 8, Tuesday
We're resuming play here in Athens.
Final installment coming up.
Couldn't be more of a low-scoring game here as the rain throws between the hedges. All right, back to action.
Tonight, first time Georgia's run a play in Kentucky real estate comes at 6:31 in the third.
Via a poor punt.
15-yarder from Duffy.
Swift.
And attacks.
A first down and then some. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Right on time. Swift. Great footwork and agility in the rain. Finally, a reason to celebrate in Athens.
We talked about Swift in the first half, getting to the edge. Similar deal, but
oh, he broke 2 tackles.
Breaking through that tackle. Wow.
2 guys hit him at once, and he still got through.
6th time, over 100 total yards in a game for
Man, did
Swift.
I show up right in time or
longest
what?
Play of the game at 39.
Extra point.
Georgia
Good.
A touchdown off of the miss by Duffy. An all-league punter goes for 15 yards, and this is turned out by Swift on the first one.
Yeah, go back to this play. Just watch what a great big hole he gets because great blocking by Mays there.
All right, let me see what's going on in the huddle. What are you guys up to? Our moderator, A-Bomb, holding down the fort and letting everybody know. I had to step out for a sec there. Go Michigan. I hear you, Ethan, the Fortnite God.
Washing everything out. And a good cutoff block by Trey Hill, the center.
Welcome into the huddle. Beat by the Books is here. And welcome aboard, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe. And tomorrow, A-Bomb, our moderator, will be hosting Falcons-Rams play-by-play. So like it and subscribe to his channel as well.
Swift has been the man. I mean,
yeah, you know, outside zone stretch play, whichever you want for that one.
The rain even harder here in the second half.
Wash everything outside and let Swift pick the hole.
We'll see Sony Michel on Monday Night Football, one of the many Georgia tailbacks from years past. Herschel Walker, Robert Edwards, no Sean Moreno at all.
They've had some backs here, haven't they?
Oh my goodness. The holes are lined with tremendous running backs. Blankenship kicks it away. Kentucky will wait for the fair catch, it looks like, and get it at the 25. Rodriguez does so. Next Saturday, number 8 Notre Dame against Michigan from the Big House. 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Michigan in a tight one with Penn State. Scoreless at last check over on ABC right now. The Irish blown loss to Georgia. And we take a look at the college football rankings brought to you by AT&T. What stands out?
Well, that's going to change.
Uh-oh. The strike through
is going to go bye-bye.
You don't want a Saturday night strike through, by the way. You don't want that if you're an unbeaten in college football.
You know, there's a debate or discussion as to who really should be listed as number 1 right now. before we get to the committee.
A couple weeks until we hear from the committee on the college football playoff rankings for the first time. If you're looking at key wins, LSU jumps off the page.
Well, I mean, that's the question. You know, if you think about it the way the committee does, they look at top 25 wins, you know, and LSU has more top 10 wins than any other undefeated team. So you would think the committee would go, LSU, you're number one. But then there's the eye test and the eye talent test. A lot of folks still like Alabama, like Clemson, and say they'll be there in the end.
Hey, that might be the only points we see scored today. 7-0 Georgia, 5:40 left in the third quarter. Kentucky trying to audible.
2 to snap it for Bowden. They'll run the option, and Bowden takes a shoulder from Tay Crowder, and it's third down.
Yeah, it's like we're playing against Navy or Army or something, the way they run the ball at Kentucky.
Basketball player in Pine Mountain, Georgia, a major part of this defense.
Had a scoop and score a few weeks ago against Notre Dame. Showed some great speed, going 60 yards with that.
That 102 for Kentucky's against a defense that is the
only one. Whenever you hear that guy blow a gasket, it's third down.
So far this year. 3rd and 4, a lot of movement.
Confusion on the Kentucky sideline in terms of what personnel and where.
God. Yeah, everyone's confused. 5 wide receivers, no running backs. 3rd and 4. That is an unusual lineup for this Kentucky offense, and they are going to call a timeout. Yeah, that didn't look.
Kentucky may want that
like,
timeout later in a one-score game under 5 to go in the 3rd.
All right, this is play-by-play reaction of the Georgia Bulldogs. Kentucky, guys, finally get on the board. Welcome along, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe. And we're deciding, you know, after the game, what are we going to do for dinner? What are we going to do for dinner tonight, Producer Beth? We're either going to make some chicken fried rice and post what you're having for dinner, or, tell me what you think of this, I could go over to El Guadalajara and get the shredded chicken burrito supreme, where it's got all the lettuce, the rice and beans, you know, the guac sides, and that. I think last time we got that, I mean, I ate my half and I felt like I had literally stuffed myself silly. I felt really fat after that. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, a subscriber check. Thank you, A-Bomb. Let's get that subscriber number up there. You see that on your screen whenever you get a new subscriber, that number ticks up. That's like a shot of dopamine, kind of. Very nice. Thank you, new subscriber. And depending on your privacy settings, sometimes I get a notification on the new subscriber. If I do, you get a free shout out. And Scott Bradshaw in the huddle. And he says chili. Oh, Chili's, the restaurant? You think I'm going to Chili's, or you're having chili? We're at Chili's tonight, babe. Okay, we are back here in Athens.
For the transfer, 3rd and 4, a run. And Bowden
no dice.
The football. Georgia's got it. It's a turnover for LeCount. Turnover number 1.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Now the question is whether Bowden was
It's
down.
a wet night, guys. That's bound to happen.
Came out as he hit the ground.
The rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Watch the contact.
Oh, that's out.
That ball is out. It was the hit by Reed.
Yeah, that's definitely a live ball there. All right.
Big hit. That ball comes down before Bowden's knee touches the ground.
That's all we're going to need in this game. Dawgs psyched up.
Everybody's got a gimmick now, right? A turnover chain, a turnover
squad,
spike, turnover pad, whatever you call it. Wow.
Yeah, they put on like this
Maybe
fake
sponsored by Aaron Boone with the word
shoulder
Savage
pads
on
with like
there.
spikes and stuff on after a turnover
I-
like that.
I don't think they'd let that out of the ring. It would be a rust component.
If you've ever seen the movie Basketball, it's not too far from that. All right, 1st and 10, Dawgs.
Again, right?
He just hit for 39 and a touchdown.
There's Swift. 5, 10, 12. First down.
He's a battering ram. Matt Berry in the studio.
Okay, guys, checking in on Penn State.
Oh, yes, Matt
Michigan.
Berry in the studio.
Nittany Lions strike
what do you
first.
got, Matt?
Sean Clifford to Pat Fryermuth. Good back shoulder throw there. Right now, Penn State up 7-0 over on ABC.
Ah, the Penn State-Michigan game.
Still unbeaten.
Fortnite got him.
That
was
way.
talking about.
How about DeAndre Swift just starting
Michigan
to take
down
over
by 7 early.
this game?
Clear momentum shift, field level.
You feeling it?
Absolutely.
Dogs have it at the 20.
So now it's Harrion. And he's a little more indecisive.
Harrion for about 3.
The hole wasn't as presented to him, and it's second down coming up.
Kentucky playing. Sorry, Rod. Kentucky's just playing without Cash
What is he,
Daniel.
a
I just wanted
cat?
to mention that their middle linebacker.
Yeah,
who left the field in the
something?
second quarter.
He told us earlier that he was looking forward to this game because it's a physical game, but that he knew he wouldn't be able to walk for 2 or 3 days afterwards.
Prediction came through a little early, apparently.
Sadly prophetic. Second down and 6. The wind really picking up.
Georgia in the red zone.
Harrion stays in. Werner looks a little confused.
Kentucky's sideline is
There's a
upset.
whistle.
And John McDade steps in to give them the right to substitute. And now it looks like Georgia's called timeout.
Georgia. It will be a 30-second timeout.
No, the internet loves when players bump into officials. Werner just did there.
You know, this 7-point lead feels like 14 or 20, given how difficult it's been for Kentucky to move the ball. And so if you're Kirby Smart, you're this far into Kentucky territory, you're thinking any kind of a score, a field goal, anything, starts to feel like it's putting the game out of reach.
Right, some homemade chili going on over at Scott Bradshaw's house.
9 Eastern right here on ESPN. That'll follow our game.
He's raving on his wife's homemade chili.
I mean, Kentucky still has yet to complete
Well,
a pass.
shout out to Scott Bradshaw's wife and the homemade chili tonight.
If you're Kentucky, do you turn up the heat? Is this second and third down?
Yeah, should have done that, A-Bomb. Should have had the homemade chili on a cold, wet night in Georgia.
Kentucky
Actually, last night it was cold and rainy and windy. We had fish soup. It was a very nice, spicy soup. Really warmed us up. Oh, Tom Yum soup.
Harrion again.
All right.
And he tumbles down to the 12, so third down and 2.
Short game for Harrion.
Not the kind of game you would expect from Fromm. I'm sure the weather has a lot to do with it, but he was looking forward to this week after a
no
tough
huddle
outing
offense.
last week.
Handoff to Harrion. First down.
Hunting that first down. He's got it, turning his back. First and goal, Georgia.
Yeah, so you get a short punt, which is like a turnover, and then you get a turnover.
Got 19 in the box. Welcome aboard, everybody.
Georgia's offensive line smells it. And they
like and subscribe, Dog
Kentucky
fans.
have been holding them off for a while, but these guys are so big up front, so strong.
Biggest offensive line in the country for the Georgia Bulldogs.
You got a couple guys 330 pounds.
And she makes chicken enchiladas too. Let's go over to Scott Bradshaw's place.
The comparison to the average
yeah,
NFL
we're on
lineman.
the way. Another handoff, trying to turn the outside corner, and he does. 5, touchdown, Harrion. Listen to this crowd as the rain and the wind whips across
what a nice
Dooley
move
Field at Sanford Stadium.
Jamari Brown
what a
in
scene.
The secondary there had the leverage, had the edge, but a little dip inside.
It's tough to turn the corner in these conditions, but Harrion does
able
it.
To get outside in pure speed, but Brown had the leverage but gave it up.
Harrion missed the game with the back strain last week against South Carolina. And how about the last 45 minutes for Georgia? If you're a Bulldog fan, you turn on the game, you say, what are we doing? It's no score at halftime. Then Mizzou loses. bad punt, touchdown.
Yep.
Touchdown. You're up 14-0.
Yeah.
You're exactly where you want to be, and you got Florida in a couple of weeks.
You could say Kirby Smart played the long game.
Yep.
You know, just slowly hanging in there, not forcing, not pushing anything, and then you get basically 2 turnovers. You get 2 turnovers with a short field, 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
You ready for a Buick drive recap? Get behind the wheel.
I thought every now and then, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, you got one? Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
Lucky.
Oh, a Buick drive recap.
Here's the fumble.
Those are the best.
Bowden on a run gets knocked over, and the ball comes out with a big hit by J.R. Reed, and then Harrion with a nice move on Jamari Brown to get outside and get to the edge.
It's brought to you by Buick. Our drive recap. 2 touchdowns, last 4:26. And how about J.R. Reed, an impressive young man. We spent some time with him. A transfer from Tulsa. And
all right,
we
guys. We don't usually pipe in the satellite feed from ESPN or Fox or folks like that, but a little special treat for us tonight, courtesy of ESPN.
Know about the college football playoff loss and all that stuff, that he just hasn't seen enough of them yet to know how to put it away as much as
To the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, Kentucky to midfield, 45, 40, and out of bounds.
Back for the Wildcats off the kickoff.
It gives
As those stupid
Kentucky
ESPN announcers talking about bullshit.
Inside the 40, this is the best field position.
Wow, that's a great run, yeah.
Tonight. And this is
just
a
what Kentucky
really good
needed.
return. Once he finds the hole, look at him run right through.
Look at that white boy run.
That's a really good job. No red shirts around him. Pursuit finally got him, but this sets up Kentucky with the chance to get back in, to get a score.
You know, we've talked about what Kentucky gains from Bowden at the quarterback position.
Scott's
touch
in
the ball all the time.
Chicago.
You do, by virtue of him being there, lose your best receiver.
Yeah, greetings, Chicago.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yep.
Don't talk to Chicago about cold, windy weather.
Johnson. Kentucky with Bowden. Looking for a crease, and he gets stood up, blocking sled style.
Back to your point about J.R. Reed and talking with him. This was a tough week for the Georgia players. They had friends, classmates, family members, all, you know, trying to talk about the playoffs. Oh, we're in bad shape or whatever. And he said, look, I'm veteran enough to say,
moderator
when we got
A-bomb.
time, you know, we got to
A-bomb is going to be back in about 30 minutes.
Some of the younger players to do that.
If our other moderator, Fortnite God, is in the house,
I'm not talking about
he'll
that.
be there to take care of any
No,
unsavory business
tell you what they saw last week.
that needs to be attended to. Oh, Kentucky's going to turn the corner there. First down, down to the 20. He's still on his feet. Out of bounds at the 17, and there's a late flag.
DJ Daniel, it's a gain of 21 and then some with a marker in.
There's a flag. Into the play.
Wow, that talk about chili. A-bomb, producer Beth A-bomb has just walked out the front door to go on a chili run. And that's a face mask on Georgia. Oh, man.
We talk about Aspire one-on-one. J.R. Reed has a shot.
That'll be added to the end of the play, I do believe.
He gives him a great move.
Yeah, A-bomb, we're talking about what everyone's having for dinner, and Scott's having chili, and A-bomb got excited, and now he's on his way to the store to get some ingredients for chili.
Antoine Randall L, huh? Reminds you of that a bit, Q?
Well,
yeah, he's got kind of that crossover dribble like.
I don't think I'm gonna go to the store for chili, but
little Allen Iverson going on there.
Next time I go to the store, I might get some ingredients for chili. First and goal for Kentucky.
A basketball game or two. First and goal, Kentucky. Georgia still has not allowed a rushing touchdown this year. Rodriguez won't get it.
Yeah, and it's tough to get it inside there with Devontae Wyatt, 6'3", 301 pounds there, and Barnett, number 94, 304. You're not really moving those two guys out of the middle too often. Your best bet is to get to the edge.
You got Wagner here near side with his 6'5" height.
Kentucky's at about the 8.
Good matchup, Q.
Threatening to score. Last play of the third quarter.
Bowden to run.
Bowden scrambles to the right, throws in the end zone, and the receiver cannot come up with it. He was wide open, and he drops it. And then he kicks it as he falls down. Oh, that's going to give him nightmares.
This looks like Nebraska Mizzou from back in the day. Matt Davis.
This is all to him, and he beats it all up. Kentucky
wide
open,
going, and the slippery ball. Wow. Heartbreak for Kentucky on that play. This is the Bone Crusher Show, and we are bringing you play-by-play reaction of Georgia and Kentucky. Welcome. We got 19 in the box. Make sure you like and subscribe. Our moderator, A-Bomb, is on his way to the store to get ingredients for chili. And make sure you like and subscribe to his channel, too. Tomorrow he has Falcons and Rams play-by-play reaction. And we're going to take a quick break and be right back with Georgia and Kentucky. Hang tight. Don't go anywhere, not even to go to the bathroom.
Switching to Boost gave me so much more. And I gotta say, I like more.
Switch and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month with unlimited gigs, plus 4 free LG Style 5 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast nationwide network.
Wendy's is the official hamburger of the NCAA. But the hamburgers aren't just for the officials. They're for anyone, even kickers. Right now, get Wendy's Classic Dave Single made with fresh, never frozen beef, free with any mobile order purchase.
I am on a journey to help people find time to relax. Are you ready for the journey, Elizabeth?
How did you get in?
Oh no, we've got a report of a thumbs down. Someone thumbs down, Producer Beth. They have made a powerless enemy. You hit the like button and subscribe button. And we are coming back.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Georgia still in play for the college football playoff on a 3rd and goal, leading by 2 scores.
There's your big guy down there, 6'5" basketball player. This is 2 down territory. Field goal does you no good if you're a Kentucky fan.
3rd and goal.
Lynn Bowden Jr. to throw.
He's in a pass. Yeah, he's getting rushed. No, he's got to scramble. Nowhere to go. He throws it up.
Incomplete.
Made a play of it, but incomplete. Wagner was diving for it, came up short.
You don't have any choice. A field goal doesn't do you any good. You're having trouble scoring. You can't count on getting back down here 3 times.
So what's your play call?
Well, for me, I still want Bowden to move with the ball. I still want him to look for Wagner, but be aware, backside away. He had a guy open last time. Be aware of that.
4th down. Dawgs defense can shut down the Wildcats right now and keep the shutout intact.
Shorter distance. Easier jump ball there.
Out of the shotgun.
That direction, and the play clock
And there's a whistle. That's blown dead.
Stoops got the timeout.
Second charge timeout of the half, Kentucky.
Oh, he can't believe it. Stoops is livid. Into the studio, Matt Perry.
Hey guys, keeping an eye on Texas and Kansas. Kansas up 17-14. Sam Ehlinger brings them right back down the field to take the lead right now. 21-17 on the Longhorn Network.
I don't know. The Hat's playing pretty
Go
well.
Longhorns.
I think the Hat's enjoying himself in
Go
Manhattan.
Texas.
Operator, please put
Little Manhattan.
51.
Lawrence?
1-4.
Oh, yeah.
We're in the fourth quarter. Dogs up by 14.
Not Little Manhattan?
No, that'll come
Fourth
up later.
and goal.
We'll get that Kansas State will have some
For
fun
Kentucky.
later on, with that being maybe a
Big
better
fourth down
rivalry,
for
but,
Kentucky.
fourth and
Perhaps
goal
the
on
whole
timeout.
game
Again, another
right
timeout
here.
Maybe you'd rather have for later.
A little trouble getting
I
organized.
don't think very many people have their hopes pinned to Kentucky, pulling off a fourth down conversion here for a touchdown in the pouring rain in Athens.
But he's going to have to contend with 1-2 defenders.
Well, here we
if
go.
you throw it that way.
It's going to be very congested. Now the shotgun.
Yeah,
drops back.
Now he clears.
He's got pressure. He scrambles. He throws it to the end zone. Tips and incomplete.
There's a flag down.
Number 6, Ollie, got a hand on it.
Check the marker.
Number 77
It's on
offense.
Kentucky.
Penalties decline. Ball's turned over on down.
So the Wildcats
Turnover on
still
downs.
yet to complete a pass in this
All
game.
right.
Yeah, really good job by the
Dawgs
Georgia defense.
with the
really
hammer.
Good job by Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator. Had a spy go at the last minute to chase Bowden so that he didn't have all the room in the world to run around. Yeah, you have a guy delay and be prepared. Now watch what happens. You'll see 20 Reed, he's the spy. He cuts off the edge, and Bowden had no place to go with that.
You mentioned Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator for Georgia. We chatted with him yesterday, a former third-grade PE teacher turned college football coach. He sent out a bunch of emails, made a bunch of phone calls, and now is a defensive coordinator in his very early time in his career.
Georgia's going to rush it. Swift breaks a tackle and drags another man for a gain of 9.
This is what you expect of your superstars. Take over.
Man, these ESPN announcers cannot keep.
That.
These guys, ESPN cannot keep their head in the game.
Your point about Lanning is a good one.
You know, if it was a blowout or something, you could forgive all the chatter and the banter.
Personal foul and necessary roughness. Number 95, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Bohannon, you talk about Lanning. So how badly do you want to be a college football coach?
Yeah.
You're a high school coach, and you're not getting any responses to the emails and resumes you talk about. And he got in his car and drove from Kansas City to Pittsburgh.
It's a long trip.
To try to get FaceTime.
And he did. Got some attention.
Okay, so our subs count has gone down. I hate when that happens. I hate taking that number down because then, you know, it's the opposite of a shot. What's the opposite of a shot? It's the dopamine.
He's just got a different gear.
Yep.
An unshot.
I mean, that speed. He's got a guy out there.
All right, there's a great run there for, is that Swift again? Yeah, Swift put on a big night tonight.
Right around Eccles.
Breaks the tackle, turns the corner there.
Speed, confidence, that's awesome. Getting back to Lanning for a moment, you know who the real star was in that? His wife.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he came home and said, honey, I want to go chase an $800
All right, first and
job.
10 for the
She's
Dogs.
like, okay,
They're at
let's do
their
it.
own 45.
Yeah, I mean, what a saint, right? And he said, look, she knew what we were going to do, and she was
Swift still in at halfback, and there's a handoff to Swift for
for
5 all the way to midfield.
Was territory again, but there's something to be said.
And I got these announcers turned down because
players
they're
as well. I mean,
not
for
their
anybody who
conversation
wants to do something that bad, and he said he's just loved
is
football
not on the
for
game,
so long. It was
really.
inside of him, and he chased it.
It's about believing in yourself and
Betting on yourself.
taking your shot.
Yep.
And he took his shot, and it paid off for him.
All right, 2nd and 4.
And his defense has put a number on Kentucky today, and Kentucky's defense has had their hands full with this offense in the second half with short fields.
Hand off to Swift. First down to the 40, to the 35.
Matt Berry in the studio. What you got?
That's a Harrians,
Penn
actually.
State continuing to jump on Michigan early. This Sean Clifford from 2 yards out, and it is all Nittany Lions. Start of the second quarter on ABC, 14-0. Coming up, Nick Saban and Alabama beating Tennessee 12 straight times. Will that streak continue? That coming up after your game.
Probably. It will probably continue.
We will see if Alabama
Boy,
gets
I sure
challenged.
hope Tennessee can do something.
Great interview with Tua and Steve Levy on game day earlier today.
Doubtful.
Talking about what Tua wants to do in the future. In terms of his improvement.
Highly unlikely.
One of those
All
things he
right.
was
Fromm
talking about.
is in and calls an audible. Another handoff to Harrion. He's in a
direction, and this is the
pick up
run game.
about 3.
To see down here.
Well, they've gone
Clock
all
running.
in too.
12
They
minutes
brought
left in the game.
an
Dogs up
extra
by
lineman
14.
to line up as a tight end, to give them 2 tight ends with Charlie Warner queued, so they're just grinding it.
Yeah, they lean on you pretty good all game, and you see the quarterback, Jake Fromm, there, check. Change the play at the line of scrimmage to get him in the right run.
Legal substitution on the offense. 12-minute formation. A 5-yard penalty.
Be right back.
You talk about leaning on people, Quint. Georgia in the second half has run 14 plays. How many passes do you guys remember?
Not one.
Yeah, none. 14 runs, no passes.
Well, look, what they did was they said, DeAndre Swift, go do it. We got this big offensive line we think is the best in the country. We think you're one of the top running backs. Go to it. We don't need to try and worry about developing receivers and whatnot. Let's go win the game with what we do well.
Kirby Smart said that to us in the meeting. He said, I'm not going to play this game to appease everybody and see the fireworks passing wise if we're not able to because of the rain or whatever. We're going to try and win the game. And there's Swift.
And that bodes well for Georgia when Fromm's pass attempts are kind of manageable, less than 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at 11 today. They win when he doesn't throw more than 30 times, right, Quinn?
Yeah, and I think, you know, this team's going to have to throw better down the road to beat the Floridas.
No question.
Team. But today was just not the day to develop that because of the conditions.
No question.
So you got to check your ego, your passing ego at the door today. Too windy, too rainy.
Yeah, I don't know that Fromm has that much of an ego with throwing the football. There's one area where he does have a little bit of an ego.
Singing on the run, Swift to the 29.
Well, make that 2 areas. Yes, he believes he can sing. J.R. Reed is not a fan of Fromm taking hip-hop songs and singing them like country songs. But, you know, where the ego comes in is here's a guy who repeatedly had to prove himself here. Had to prove he was a better quarterback than Jacob Eason. Had to prove he was a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Both of them ended up transferring, but you can understand why he'd look at it and he'd go, again, I haven't won you over yet. He's won him over now.
Substitution allowed. 4th down and 4. He's a local kid from Warner Robins. A couple of hours away from here in Athens. 4th down from first pass, the second half, a connection inside the 25. First down for Pickett.
And the mock celebration from the crowd that they've seen the ball in the air.
And a shout out to Warner Robins, Georgia there.
390-pound freshman. He will get better and better. They will need him when they get to November and they have those big games to try to win the East. And how about Fromm? Yeah, we got one there.
Bam, there we go.
Pickens
Fromm is from my hometown
and a little bit of
Warner Robins, Georgia.
Back to the ball. And nicely done as we move down to 9 minutes. For a Georgia team that suddenly finds itself
Dogs in the 22.
in the loss column in the SEC East. Swift met low by
couple of yards.
This game started to get away from Kentucky after the bad punt early in the 3rd quarter.
That's Watson down for Kentucky. But you're right, short fields.
Yep.
The death knell so far for the Wildcats. We'll step aside. Georgia driving and he's back.
The Russians put the first man on the moon.
Thought it was about being first.
This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate makes a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Georgia's up 2 scores and driving at the 20-yard line.
2 scores feel like 3 or 4 as the offensive line for Georgia has taken over since midway in the 3rd quarter.
Georgia's rattled off 224 rush yards, and that has been the story of this series, even without the deluge the last couple of years. Harrion, 3rd and short.
They keep picking on that left side, though, where they've gotten great play out of
4th quarter.
Kinley, number 66, and Thomas, 71, most of the afternoon. Well, most of the second half, I should say.
When Thomas and Kinley are together, coming into this game, Georgia had averaged 12.5 yards a carry running behind them when they're together.
I think DeAndre Swift appreciates having them out there.
Yeah, right?
He's been having a heck of an afternoon, particularly in the second half with those 2 over there.
Third and 3 for the Dogs at the 15.
With the rain beating Sanford Stadium.
There's the first down run. Still on his feet.
Tackles, and you might be seeing the fatigue now for
down
Kentucky. 1st and goal.
Yeah, they've been getting pounded for a while. Get a little double team again. Kinley, 66. A little help from Hill, 55. And then Harrion stays on his feet as Taylor tries to grab him.
Harrion gave you a little bicep there at the end of the run.
He should. He showed some strength.
This offensive line, their ability to engage and then continue to move their feet through contact, just churning and chop, 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 chop.
Q, the smallest guy, is 320 pounds.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, 14 in the huddle. Welcome aboard, everyone.
Athleticism and bendiness of the left tackle, Thomas.
Hand off to Swift. Up the middle, down to the 3.
Again. What do you mean bendiness?
Well, he's flexible. He's a real athlete. And you watch, he's not stiff at all. And he gets his hands on you, drops his hips, continues to move his feet. He can play at awkward angles comfortably. You know, he's not stiff. He doesn't bend at the waist. He's just so smooth. Big number 71 on the left.
Well, and once he gets his hands on one of the defensive linemen, he just keeps churning those feet, driving with his leg power. And that's why they've had success running behind him.
second and goal for Georgia. This could be the nail in the coffin for
Swift
Kentucky.
once more.
Swift's second effort is in. Touchdown, Georgia.
He's a ball of fire right now.
Yeah, lots of credit for Swift, but man, that left side of the offensive line darn near pushed Kentucky's D-line back into the end zone.
Nail in
Thomas
the coffin.
And what he did at the left tackle.
179 rushing yards on the day.
They're on skates. That defensive line,
179 rushing yards on the day for Swift. Lights out.
$179 yards and a couple of scores.
With the ball breaking the goal line, playing for a touchdown.
They're going to stop playing to review it.
Video review.
You see anything that
this review will be over very quickly.
Well, let's take another look. You need indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field. He looks.
Oh no.
No, looks good. You don't see the knee come down.
Clearly a touchdown.
His whole body is in the end zone.
What?
There's the knee. But still, I mean, at that angle, he's beyond the plane. He's broken the plane.
The rain on the plane, if you will. So 6:24 to go. Missouri has lost already tonight. Georgia has Florida in a couple of weeks. And you look and you say, yeah, it was 0-0 after the first half. But this has been the will imposition that people want to see out of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think that's right. With the understanding and recognition that you can't do this to Alabama, Florida, LSU. And Kirby Smart would say, yeah, I know that, and we'll keep developing our passing game. We just weren't going to do it today.
The ruling on the field, touchdown stands.
Now, I think Jeff Fromm would relish throwing in this weather, but not with young receivers who had trouble today getting open.
Yeah, I mean, for Jake Fromm, it's not a learn much game. He's 9 for 12, 35 yards. He's got one completion in the second half, but again, they haven't needed it.
Right.
So if you're looking for, okay, they check this box and that box, you're not going to get a whole lot of that out of the passing game tonight.
And he could care less about the numbers.
That's right. Blankenship. It's good. 21-0 Georgia, 6:24 to go.
Looking smooth.
Feed the whole team with Hampton by Hilton's newly reimagined free hot breakfast. Got your game face on. I like it.
Mr. Davis?
Hampton by Hilton. College football stays here.
$1. I got my full meal just in cheesy tots. Perfect level of crispiness for $1. Perfect level of cheese for $1. It's just great for $1.
Get cheesy tots or a crispy taco for $1. Now part of the snacking and saving menu. Only at Burger King.
Oh, wow. You two are going to have such a great trip.
Yeah, have fun.
Thanks to you, we will. Aw, stop.
This is why Voya helps reach today's goals.
All while helping you to and through retirement.
You guys are just going for a week, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you help with these?
Oh, we're more of the plan, invest, and protect kind of help.
Sorry, little pause.
Right.
So, but have fun.
Send a postcard. Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
If there's going to be a sticker on your car, it has to mean something. That you got into college. Or crossed the finish line. Eventually.
What?
That you went someplace worth going. Or maybe you have opinions. But if it's on there, it has to mean something. So we make sure this means something. That we've done everything to make your shopping, test driving, and car buying experience the way it should be. CarMax.
Son, I need to tell you something.
What is it, Dad?
There's a 5-cent refund for this bottle in Iowa and Maine.
Means a lot, Pop.
Special moments with Dos Equis. Keep it interesante.
ESPN College Football.
is presented by Hampton by Hilton. College football stays here. Book now at Hampton.com. And in part by Burger King. Get 4 cheesy tots for just $1 for a limited time only at Burger King.
Georgia's got the lead. Quint, what time of year did you say it was during the break to us?
Huddle around the heater time.
Are you doing it too?
No, not yet. I wait till the Maction in November.
Yeah, trip to Kalamazoo and then you're on the heater. Is that what you're saying?
Got to be sub 35.
He's got a rule. I like that. Georgia's got a touchdown in 3 straight drives to take this 21-0 lead, and Kentucky will have it at the 25 when we come back. Go huddle around your heater. We're back in 90 seconds.
Lower carbs, lower calories, higher expectations. The light beer you've been waiting for has arrived.
How's the battery?
All good.
Are we there yet?
Come on!
Are we there yet?
Safety car's in. Push.
Copy that.
Mom, are we there yet? Almost, honey. Are we there yet?
Not every journey has an end. Here's to the next 100 years of innovation. The journey continues at your local BMW center. Hurry in to test drive the BMW X5 today.
Introducing Target Circle, a more rewarding Target run. With deals and surprises, it's free to join. You'll score more and help support your community. You're invited to Target Circle. A more rewarding Target run is waiting for you.
The Goodyear blimp doesn't show up for just anybody. So don't be just anybody. Be blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven.
I'm a tailgater tailgating to get to my tailgate. Now, it might not get me there any faster, but hey, it gets me ready for football. Let's tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. And your cut rate car insurance, it might not pay for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
It's where a cowgirl can meet 480 horses. Where a Labradoodle owner can meet their next hybrid. Where the crew can meet its third row. And where a soccer mom can meet her MVP. Yeah. Over 500 million connections made. Find the car you'll love. We met on Cars.com.
This rivalry runs so deep.
I think it's time to let go.
A throwback feel, but a very relevant high-impact game.
It's time to let go.
Are you ready for Monday night?
So to this point, Kentucky has yet to complete a pass. So we have all these stats for you that might not be relevant if they do complete a pass. So we're just going to give them all to you so you know what will happen if they don't complete a pass. So last 20 years, no teams attempted 10 or more without a completion. That's Kentucky right now. And then here's another one for you. Georgia has held 5 teams to 0 pass yards in a game, including the Cal State Fullerton juggernaut back in 1992, which seems like a baseball game.
Only yesterday, right?
Yeah,
1992. Yeah. In other words, this is a rarity.
Big time.
Yes.
Will it last, though? It will after this play. Rose with a run, and he's got a first down to the 40.
Let me ask you this. Are you surprised we haven't seen Sawyer Smith, the #2 quarterback who was injured, missed the last couple games, but was said to be healthy and available, ready to go today?
I'm not personally, because he was dinged up, had the fractured wrist, shoulder issue, and Georgia is an unforgiving defense. Quint, you surprised?
He's been throwing throughout this game. He's got his helmet on now with chin straps. Looks like he's kind of eager to get in the game, to get a feel for it. He played very well in their loss to Florida, I felt, and then he got hurt and then had two subpar efforts after that when he wasn't 100%.
Well, he told us this week he was good to go, that he went full speed with the first and second units, and he hadn't done that in weeks. Matter of fact, the two of you bonded over wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Big time wrestling fan. Yeah, he's a stone cold guy. I'm from the generation before, Ultimate Warrior, etc. There's Bowden. Let's check in and see what Matt Barry's got cooking for us.
Guys, it's getting late early in Happy Valley. Watch this throw from Sean Clifford to KJ Hamler. Just drops a tear right into his hands. 21-0 Penn State midway through the second. And Tua saying hellos, highs before their game against Tennessee. Tied and beaten Tennessee 12 times in a row. That coming up after the conclusion in Athens.
That's no fun. The khakis are getting wrinkled tonight over on ABC.
What has happened to Michigan?
Offense has really struggled for the Wolverines. Don Brown's defense has carried the load for the most part, but they're trailing big. Bowden on the move, and there is a completion.
Wow.
First down, all those
Kentucky
stats
actually completed a pass there.
The moment
Amazing.
you put those stats up, you knew that was it.
Yeah, okay, the broadcaster. Okay, we saw it Thursday night with McAfee and the UCLA punt team and Stanford, and I was getting tweets about that from White Sox fans saying it's real. Any baseball fan thinks it's real. It's just regression to the mean.
You just did it.
Come on, you're an intelligent guy. Don't put me in that fire.
I didn't have a hand in it.
Wrong with you. Rose inside the 40-yard line. I don't know how you've done TV for ESPN since what, 1996.
Forever.
You think I put the graphics up? Have you seen the truck that we have the show come out of?
You have such power.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, these announcers, they've checked out, basically. They figured this game is over. Dogs up 21-0. But Kentucky with a first down on a completion. Holy cow.
Bowden
scrambling.
Pass incomplete.
Now, if you look forward,
slightly deflected,
Kentucky,
I think, there, incomplete.
To become bowl eligible. This is a team that won 10 games last year. In order for them to do that, they will have to have a passing attack.
Yeah, Tennessee at Alabama tonight.
That probably means Sawyer Smith is the best option for that, and it allows him to get Bowden back to his number.
You feel sorry for Tennessee. Got to play at Alabama tonight. How ugly is this going to get? Or can Tennessee pull off some sort of miracle?
He's got 114 career catches.
Shit,
30
probably
this
not.
year.
3rd and 5 for Kentucky.
Kentucky with a loss tonight would drop to 3
They're
and 4.
across midfield.
And they'll have angry Missouri coming up next week.
Bowden scrambles.
Over on SEC Network.
He gets the first down.
Scrambles.
Yeah,
down
first
about
down.
33.
And listen, I have all the respect in the world for Bowden. He is a great player.
3:17
He's going to play
in
an
the
awful
game.
lot on Sundays. But you can't play 4, 5, 6 weeks without a passing attack. Weather or whatever, you have to be able to throw the ball in the SEC. You can't line up and knock everybody off the ball.
Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Hit the like button.
People have asked about the pink on his face. That's for his grandmother who passed away. He's honoring her with that, as he's done the last 2 weeks. Young man.
The rain throwing down
Ohio,
in
Athens.
Athens.
Of 15 folks.
Kentucky throws again, complete for a few yards there. Then he carries a couple defenders for a few more.
Down. Hey, next Saturday, number 8 Notre Dame, number 16 Michigan. You talk about angry. Wolverines might be real mad. That's at the big house. Oh yeah, or sleepwalking.
Yeah.
7:30 Eastern on ABC. You got to sneak that in, or the promo doesn't count.
That's always a good rivalry. That's always a good
second and 1.
It's been one-sided in recent days.
Kentucky just trying to get on the board once in this game. Dawgs looking for the shutout.
For Georgia against UK. 2nd down and 1. Will the shutout remain intact?
Bowden scrambles again. Throws it deep down the sideline. Out of bounds.
As the rush was coming, there's been some holding on the edge trying to protect.
That might be some more holding.
And again, another holding call.
Yeah, Uga's in a little house there.
I'd like to see Uga again.
He's got a.
Who doesn't like Uga?
Holding.
He's got a bay window.
Offense.
Nice.
Penalty. Second down.
He's got the s'mores going, maybe fireplace in the back.
Didn't we see?
Yeah.
We saw Uga last night at the homecoming.
Yeah.
Riding in style in some big truck or so, all decked out and whatnot.
He drools up the window there. He drools it up and steams it up on a chilly night like tonight. And then he can't see what's going on.
Did you go intrepid report that on your own? Did you test?
Minute 56.
You see the tongue on the window down there?
I'm tight with the Yale Bulldogs. So
3 wide receivers for Kentucky.
You travel in those circles.
Bowden goes deep. He unloads into the end zone.
That's too much.
That is incomplete, out of the end zone, too far. 3rd and 12 now for Kentucky.
3rd down and 12. Kirby Smart's team, again, you just want to win after losing to South Carolina. I know we're looking into the future of the college football playoff, et cetera, et cetera. But with the rain and everything, evaluating the past game's tough. As we talk
Hey, real quick, tonight's play-by-play reaction is brought to you by treasurehunt.ga. Go click on sports fans at treasurehunt.ga. 3rd and 12 for Kentucky.
With no one getting the advantage.
From the 35, Bowden drops back, throws deep.
The other direction. That's a jump ball, and it's batted away, nearly intercepted. That's DJ Daniel.
Incomplete.
And Kirby Smart is doing the right thing. He has the focus
on the money here. I mean, he's just keep hoeing and hoping something happens.
And moving on to the next week. It's the rest of the world. You know, the fans and everybody else and odds makers and people who vote in the rankings to
4th and 12.
You got a problem down the line.
Minute 40.
Right now.
But what have you seen that inspires confidence going forward? What improvement did you see if you're a Bulldog fan?
Well, as a fan, yeah, you're still worried about your
You want to shut out the Wildcats.
4th and 12 for the game.
Help your rankings. 4th and 12, throwing deep down the sideline, man-to-man, and incomplete.
You know, with Kirby Smart,
that was probably the
he
closest
said something that rarely does a coach say
to a reception in a minute there for Kentucky. But turnover on downs. Kentucky with 1 timeout.
Crunchy satisfaction and cheesy perfection.
And this thing is all but over, folks, as the Dogs are about to go to 6-1 on the season. Why don't we take a peek at who we got? Oh shit! I'm breaking things. All right, let's take a look at the upcoming games. All right, tomorrow, A-Bomb, who's at home making chili tonight, will be bringing you play-by-play reaction for the Atlanta Falcons and the Rams. I forget what time that starts. As far as the Georgia Bulldogs, let's get their schedule up here. Apparently I can't do that. All right, next Saturday, November 2nd. That is not next Saturday, so let me pull up the calendar. Next week is a bye week for the Dogs. We'll be back November 2nd. Georgia, Florida on November 2nd, and that is 2:30 Central to 3:30 Eastern time. We will have that for you. The world's largest tailgate. And the following Saturday, Georgia and Missouri, a couple of top 25 ranked teams. Well, this game's all about winding down. Let's head down to the huddle, see what you guys are talking about. Let's see what's going on. Scott had chili tonight. I don't know. How's A-Bomb's chili going? Hi. Good one. Grant says Kentucky still covered the spread. So that's hey, if you're a betting man, a big rainy night like tonight, that spells money. You get the rain, you bet on Kentucky, and it's not going to be a high-scoring game. So Grant, did you have some money on this? Did you make some money, or did you lose some money?
Rather surprising is he said you can't tell kids to tune out social media.
All right, a minute and change here.
Coaches will say, just don't pay any attention to it. That's not possible. Kids are on it, so you have to use it, and you have to use stories to your advantage. Games like Clemson and UNC, right? Yep. Upset possibilities. You use the noise to your advantage.
What's the spread on the Alabama-Tennessee game? Like 50-point spread or something crazy?
It tells them about what's out there, what they will hear, what the narrative is, and whatnot. But to hang
Clock
together.
ticking, 56 seconds.
You know, he's prepping them for it instead of telling them, hey, you know, don't
Dawgs gonna let this tick down.
You can't. I mean, everybody's
1
going
second,
to be
call
on
a timeout,
it, or
I
you're
guess.
going to hear it from friends and family.
You know who's going to hear some good things?
Or they're going to take the penalty.
Yeah. 21 for 179.
And the clock starts right back up.
On short fields, won
So
the game
Dawgs, Kentucky not calling a timeout. Dawgs in victory formation.
And he had some spectacular
30
runs
seconds
behind them, and you need a superstar to step up. It was 0-0, and he
The play
made the
clock's
plays in the third quarter that got
a little
Georgia
shorter than the game clock, so we'll have to go to fourth down here.
21-0 Georgia.
But basically, they're just standing on the field. I guess this is kind of a new rule. You don't really have to hike it.
The Georgia defense pitches a shutout tonight.
All right, Jake Fromm, State Farm, takes the knee. And there you go. 3, 2, 1.
And you know what it is? For Georgia, survive and advance. They said they're in the playoff now. And they just needed to get a win, and they got it.
First home shutout in the SEC since 2010. Coming up next, Tennessee, Alabama. For Quentin Rod, I'm Jason. We thank you for watching as we go back to Matt Berry in our studio.
All right, we'll check with Matt Berry for a second here.
Coming up next, Jeremy Pruitt in Tennessee looking to break a streak. Nick Saban assistant.
See, Berry's got some scores for us.
18 facing their former head coach. That coming up in just under 7 minutes here on ESPN. I want to update you on Penn State, Michigan. Guys, I said during the game it was getting late early. Watch this pass here, Sean Clifford to KJ Hamler.
Yeah, from Michigan, I don't want to play man-to-man coverage. Hamler too good. Sean Clifford having a heck of a half. 2 touchdown passes, also 1 rushing.
At that point, 21-0. Then Zach Charbonnet gets
great job, too, because earlier in the drive, they had a touchdown called back because of a penalty. So a great job keeping their composure and keeping this game
close. All right, let's get to the Alabama-Tennessee game.
And we're not going to be able to bring you Tennessee-Alabama coverage tonight on the Bone Crusher Show as the Dogs win 21-0 over Kentucky. Congratulations. And thanks, everybody, for coming out to the huddle here and joining us. The 35-point spread, huh? All right. Well, I hope you made a few bucks off that, Grant. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, X-Mac and Cayman and the Fortnite god, Ethan Walton, our other moderator, and A-Bomb, who moderator went to go make a little chili because wife was cooking him some chili, so he wanted to be like Scott Bradshaw and have some homemade chili. Shout out to Scott up in Chicago and all our new subscribers tonight. Beat by the Books was here. Kidder 96 was in the house. As we were talking about golf during halftime, Kidder 96 mentioned that it was the CJ Cup at 9 Bridges over in South Korea was the PGA event this weekend. Rod Alexander was in the house. Had some new folks stop by tonight. That's always nice. The Dogs get a win. That's great. We got next weekend off, and then it's going to be Georgia, Florida, the world's largest tailgate party. We will have that for you. That is scheduled to be a 3:30 Eastern start time. You better start having some cocktails early in the morning. You better be slamming that at the beginning. All right, what we are going to do is wrap things up here, and I'm going to replay our halftime conversation with Chris, our PGA correspondent, Chris Davies, to talk about the 12-week suspension of Matt Every, the two-time tour winner. Matt Every was busted on cannabis. I guess they gave him a drug test, and I didn't realize the PGA was doing all that. Was really that. But you know what? When you think about it, the PGA thick rule book. They're a stickler for rules. They're very particular about stuff. So actually, it's probably not that big of a surprise. And somewhere here this will play or do something. I don't know. There we go. Well, where's the effing audio? Well, maybe we won't get to revisit. It is halftime here on the Bone Crusher Show, and it is time to welcome aboard our PGA Liaison live via satellite and international playboy, Chris Davies.
What's up?
Hey, brother. Well, what's up here? I just took some creatine to start my workout. You know, it's great and all. Creatine's packs a lot of bang for the buck, but it just doesn't give you that roid rage you want in a supplement, you know.
Not really the pain pills and all the nastiness you want in a super roided out golfer.
Yeah.
So,
well, before we get into Matt Every, who just got suspended, what are you up to? Last we checked in with you, you were tearing up hotels on the Eastern Seaboard as a caddy on the Hooters tour. Are you still doing that, or have you gone back to installing PCAMs in sorority houses?
No, the Hooters tour is no longer, and now I am back to just essentially whatever odd jobs I find, and I am okay with putting in sorority cams, you know, whenever it's available. So
freelance PCAMs, sorority houses.
That's right. Beyond that, I'm okay. What's your stance on the epidemic? You know, I mean, apparently, golfers are, I mean, they're always big drinkers, and they're, beyond that, they're pillheads and God knows what else. So.
You don't hear a lot of people talk about golfers and performance-enhancing drugs, or in this case, Matt Every just got a 12-week suspension. He's a two-time tour winner, and he's suspended for marijuana, for cannabis.
$7.5 million, man. I mean, this guy he's sort of a low liar on the tour, but he's big numbers. And when you look back at the stretch, God knows he's done well for himself.
He won the Arnold Palmer twice, and last week he tied for 28th. And you were saying that's still a pretty good paycheck.
It is a good paycheck. I mean, that's still $200,000 or $300,000.
I mean, you come in 30th at a PGA Tour event, you're like, I won. I did it.
Absolutely. Without question. There's no way that he can't rebuild his team, man, because, you watched Tiger sneak up on the Masters. You watched, you watched Jordan Spieth just sort of walk up and go, hey, I just won this shit, Unbelievable.
Well, we are at halftime of UGA Kentucky game, and speaking of UGA, you were talking about I don't know if you had a chance to look into this. A UGA player, a UGA golfer who won the Masters, but was accused of cheating. Was this a case of performance-enhancing supplements, or?
No. This was moving a ball too far, and the rules are very specific. And they're yeah. When you work with that, that's I mean, the mechanics of the game are very, very tight. And
well, that PGA rule book is pretty fat. I mean, and that's sort of, I guess, the respect they tried to give the game by following a lot of these rules. And apparently there's a rule against cannabis, but not against Tiger Woods' Ambien sex parties. Is that like in the rule book? That
without question, it's okay. I'm Tiger Woods.
I am Tiger Woods. Yeah, Tiger Woods would give him and his mistress Ambien because he says it enhances the sexual experience. And my refill of Ambien's coming up on Wednesday, so I'm thinking producer Beth and myself could have an Ambien sex party, Tiger Woods style.
Didn't you damn near crash a car over that?
I busted an oil pan. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was under the influence of Ambien and maybe like a Coors Light, and
Ambien
hit the curb.
And,
yeah, but I got a new oil pan put on it. There was no cops or anything involved. I learned my lesson without too much damage done. Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, one of my finer moments, actually. Yeah.
Well, we could have all been worse off. Patrick West did win the Masters and was, I don't know, successful in that. Beyond that, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I mean, he goes beyond his predecessors, of a Watson. Who else? No, I'm sorry.
You trying to think of UGA players that were on the tour or won the Masters?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the only two I know of.
That's a good deep trivia question. If how many UGA golfers have ever gone on to win the Masters? That's probably a pretty short list.
It actually is, and when you get right down to it, damn, that's the only two I can think of.
Well, in the long history of the Masters and its proximity to Athens, you'd think that actually this probably could have happened 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago.
Yeah, but when you
Let's
get
see
right,
what Google has to say about it.
Well, when you get back down to it, though, these guys, I mean, we're talking about amazing people, in the golf industry. You're discussing Freddie Couples. You're dealing with guys that had tenacity that surmised to none. And Tiger's one of them. So.
Right, on the line with us via satellite, our PGA correspondent, Chris Davies. In this Matt Every story, and this Tiger Woods Ambien sex stuff, has me curious about some of the stuff going on, the seedy underbelly of the golf world. And you mentioned as we started this show, lots of drinking, lots of pill poppers. What kind of shenanigans are going on that we don't hear about? Because we have this image of a squeaky clean thing and a thick rule book, but
no, it's not really that, man. It's a bunch of drunkards who have, have penis problems, and I mean, it's what it is, man. It's we get by only by the size of our clubs, and it's like, okay, well, you hit the ball this far, yay. But
I mean, when I've been out on the golf course with you, half of the fun is getting stuck in a porta potty and tipping it over.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because I had a conversation about that a couple of days ago. It's like, hey man, you remember when we stuck you in the shitter and tilted it over? I'm like, yeah, I do.
But let me guess, that did not stop Chris Davies from having his good time. I bet you finished out the back nine covered in porta potty shit.
I did. Yeah, I had blue water on my pants.
No one's gonna stop me from a good time. I'm Chris Davies.
Yeah, no, without question. I had blue water on my pants.
It just enhances the reminiscing. It makes the fondness.
Well, you'd like
greater when you look back.
You'd like to think that, but in my latter days of just being a stupid drunkard, I'm thinking
with penis problems.
Well, it still works.
Tie some popsicle sticks and some twine, wrap it up. There you go. That'll work.
And that's the rest of the story.
Good day. Good day. All right. Well, thanks again for taking time to join us on the Bone Crusher Show here at halftime.
What's up?
Yeah. And this might be a format you might want to start picking up yourself, and maybe we can have some regular content.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Well, what's the rest of your weekend looking like?
I'm free.
You want to join the Peace Corps? I know you're looking for some sort of extended thing to do, to get you off Gilchrist Drive for a while. The guy I traveled thousands of miles all the way to the Philippines. I get to this little tiny village, and I meet some guy named Dave in the Peace Corps, right? Like just random American guy named Dave in the middle of nowhere. Dave doesn't do a whole lot. He's there by himself. There's no other Peace Corps people in the whole village, and he's there under the premise of studying eels or salamanders or something, which he spends almost no time doing. So he's just basically hanging out in this village, helping with their farms, doing this and that on his own schedule. I think he really enjoyed it. I was like, man, I know a guy who could, who might just be crazy enough to do that.
No, we need to get me back on the radio and get things right. And, I don't want to get too deep into this, but, I'm dealing with a lot of grief. And, when Dad died, it sort of, everything just went sideways. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christine was with me, and, when I went back through some of her Facebook messages,